Very slow, very small wait on this channel. I don't like to keep people waiting. Hello, hello, welcome, welcome. All right, so let me double check that we are live correctly. We're currently multi-streaming on 3 separate platforms. So let's just make sure nothing is going to explode. Hello, noble ones. Hello, dear noble ones. Okay. Legion move out. I love that one, XQ9. Hi. Okay, so everyone on Twitch, you hear me right? No problems? Everything is good? Seagull sounds? Oh yeah, it's just Oblivion. I just put Oblivion music. Thank you so much, Ray, for the 5 Metatron gifted memberships on YouTube. So everyone on YouTube, can you hear me normally? Everything is fine? And then the one last place that we need to make sure everything is fine is Rumble. So let me see if it's working. I don't actually think it is it? Let me see if Rumble is working. Let me double check my little output section here. Oh, I didn't click it. You know, if you don't click it, what did I click then? What the heck did I click? Yeah, currently I'm live streaming on Twitch and YouTube. That's great. Professional YouTuber right there. How about we click start on Rumble? Let's go. Oh, error. Failed to connect to the stream. So it wasn't my fault. I did click it. Let me see why I'm getting an error, guys. One moment. I shouldn't be getting an error. The stream key is correct. Service is correct. Everything seems to be okay, so I don't know why I'm having trouble going live on Rumble. I think I know how to solve it. You might need to give me a second, guys. Appreciate that. I think I know how to solve it. Okay, so what we're gonna do... There we go. So let me make sure I'm not showing this one. I just need to double check. Because every time they do a different key, that's what it is. Let me get the key very quickly. I think that's what it is. So, stream key... copied. Let me put it in here. We're gonna paste it. That should do it. Let me see if the URL is correct. URL is different as well. Yeah, no wonder. Dynamic. Yeah, let's change it. And let's see if that does it. In 3, 2, 1. Yeah, I think that did it. Now we'll see if it works, but I believe that solved it. So let's refresh it. If any of you is on Rumble, do let me know if that fixed it. And we'll see. Hopefully fixed it. In the meantime, how you guys doing? Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Imagine there could be a little delay in the connection. What bands I listen to? Depends on my mood, to be honest. Sometimes Metallica, Stratovarius, Iron Maiden, Megadeth. I wonder why I'm having trouble with Rumble right now. Because usually I don't. Last time I streamed, no problem. I'm getting an ad, though. Isn't that funny? I'm getting an ad on my own channel. Well, let's see. Maybe the fact that I see an ad is a good thing. What do you guys think? Oh, yeah, no, I'm live. Okay, it's working. Okay, worked. Right, let me get the chat then. See if we can get the chat somehow. I don't see the chat. So we'll have to see why now I don't see this chat. And there's always a problem, isn't there? Let me see. Maybe the fact that I see an ad is a good thing. Yeah, so I am live on Rumble, but I don't see chat. So I'm sure that there is a way to get it back. Let me see. Maybe if I refresh it, I'm gonna get another ad. Yeah, it's kind of annoying. Let me see. Oh, now I do. Okay, it works. Works. Thank you. And I am getting another ad because I did need to pop out chat. Everything is good. We're good to go, guys. We're good to go. I mean, I could try and connect to Kick as well, but I mean, simultaneously, maybe I do have a fast connection, but that would be a lot. So how you guys doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you, Slots on Rumble, for becoming a monthly supporter. Thank you so much for subscribing. Appreciate that. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I think you're the second subscriber, but it's real Really appreciate that. Thank you. All right, so guys, we've got a lot to talk about today. Let me get for when we start and we talk to chat. I always enjoy having the chat in the front, and then we'll get. Let's just do that. It's nice to see. Let me put Twitch. I know you're not seeing anything. I'm gonna turn to my top right camera. Boom. And how you guys doing? Having a good day? Who still gets ads on internet in 2025? Yeah, I guess I should do Rumble Premium, shouldn't I? I do have YouTube Premium. I should totally do Rumble Premium, so this way I don't get ads on my own stuff when I need to refresh and check. Oh, that's kind of funny. What's the plan for today's stream? We hear you. Okay, that's fantastic. We got a lot of things. We got a few tabs. And we'll do some comment, provide some commentary, do some reacts, engage with chat, play some games. And then we'll take a ride on Twitter because my friends, X I mean, it's always fun to, because there are a few people on X and they are big YouTubers, which is why we got the title we've got. So there are YouTubers and I've had some interaction, let's say, on X. And I say, why don't we escalate? I think we should escalate. I'm a Sicilian, we always escalate. But regardless, when I say escalate I'm going to present some criticism of some of their positions, maybe enunciating a little bit. And then, of course, I won't attack them. I'll attack their points. However, we do need to prepare for online war because it's not like people can differentiate the two now, can they? And I'm not even speaking about the YouTubers in question. I'm speaking about their audiences. But it is what it is. I'm ready. Nux got me to follow you on X. Oh, Nux is fun. Nux is great. The blue Jew, am I right? Yeah, I like Nux. Metatron should start his mini cult. I mean, yeah, with the hair. I do have the hair of a cultist. You're right. You're absolutely right. You are not live streaming from Twitch and YouTube. Oh, maybe that was a while ago. Yeah, I still had to click begin. And now I am. I'm everywhere. I mean, on Twitch, I am, though, because that's where you're writing, mate. So, I mean, it wouldn't be possible. Thank you, Ray. I'm working on my birthday, but other than that, I'm good. Okay, well, I'm sorry that you had to work on your birthday, but hey, you can make some extra money and then get yourself something. That's what you should do. What I would suggest? What would I suggest? What do we suggest? And happy birthday, Ray, by the way. I suggest you to get Space Marines, my friend. Go for it. Storm Speeder? Yeah. We get Storm Speeder. That's what you should get. Who's Apostate Prophet, by the way? A YouTuber, I understand, but I've never heard of him. Have I played Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 on stream? Yes, I do have, actually. If you check my past live streams, I keep them up anyways. Yeah, I played it like about 4 hours or so. Then I got bored, I'll be honest with you. Unfortunately. Going very well, Kiori. Nice Skyrim-esque music. It's Oblivion. So Elder Scrolls 4 rather than 5. They are censoring live chat. Who is? War against misinformation, always. I mean, that's part of the video that I did today, didn't I? Unfortunately, notifications weren't great. Do more Jesus stuff. Yeah, exactly, Flame Guy. That's what I tried to do. I literally posted a video about Jesus today at 1. So 4 hours ago. It's not doing very well. Not doing very well, unfortunately. And even my wife didn't get the notification, and she's obviously subscribed to my channel with notifications on. So I guess I'll take this opportunity to let you know that I posted a video about Jesus, and it's pretty good. It's not doctrinal, it's not doctrinal. It's about linguistics and a translation from the original Greek, and I'm basically debunking some nonsense that has been pushed. You just finished watching Jesus' video. It was great. I appreciate that, Steve. Thank you so much. Also, and that's another thing that I'm going to say at the beginning of every stream from now on, please take a moment to check whether or not you're still subscribed, because a lot of people keep telling me, hey, Metatron, I just noticed I've been subscribed since 2016. I've been unsubscribed and I didn't even know. So it is happening. It's a thing. People are getting unsubscribed. So do double check and please subscribe if you haven't. If you like the takes. Maybe if you hate the takes, you could still subscribe. Maybe you hate the takes, but you don't hate me, you know? In that case, you can still subscribe. Am I right? The political stuff will always do well, as you know. Christianity will never do well on YouTube. You know, it did before. I think they changed something. I'm going to be honest with you. This isn't the first Jesus-related video or Christianity-related video that I made that didn't do well in the last few months. But up to like 2 years ago, my Jesus videos were some of my best performing videos. In general, Bible topics, I got videos that hit the 1.8 million marks. So I haven't got a clue what happened, to be honest. But something in the back end, perhaps. Who knows? Yeah. Yeah, there we go. You see, Larry said he didn't get a notification for the video. I know, when I look at the analytics, the majority of the views I get are either from recommend, next, or the page. But the notification, it's like always nothing, completely nothing. So even when a video of mine does well, like the one 4 days ago, there was a video of mine that hit 100k very quickly. Still, out of that 100,000 from notification, I get like 3,000. It's ridiculous. Completely not working for some reasons, but cool stuff. YouTube censors chat now, even the live version. Really? Wow. Well, they are going pretty strongly on the censorship, aren't they? I know of a few channels that got completely deleted. Thank you so much, Larry, for sending 10 Metatron gift memberships. I really appreciate your generosity. Thank you so much. Did you hear about, there are several channels that have been completely deleted, wiped out. Did you hear about that? I know of a few. Overnight. No strikes. Nothing. Gone. That's why I'm expanding. As you see, I'm on Rumble now. Because you never know. I gotta build a plan B. Because I'm not gonna change the way I think or be scared of speaking my mind. Simply because, you know, oh my gosh, what if this gets deleted? No, I think the best thing to do is to never go extreme like crazy. I'll never do that. But then again, it's like the society we are living in now is pushing what is considered extreme further into the moderate realm. So basically, stuff that was just common sense 20 years ago, now it's considered extreme. So really, even in someone like me who's like, well, I'll never be an extremist. It kind of depends on whose perspective we're using to define what an extremist is or what an extreme view is. So that's another thing that we should, I think, take into consideration. So that's why I'm saying, I mean, I'll keep saying what I think, I'll keep sharing my mind, and then if something happens, at least I'm trying to build, you know, other platforms, whether it be X, whether it be Rumble, whether it be Kick, whether it be Twitch. Again, Twitch. You know, guys on Twitch, I freaking love you, but man, I am not a huge fan of the big guy on Twitch. I don't know if this is gonna get me deleted, but here we are. So yeah. Being milquetoast doesn't engage people on social media. Yeah, you're right. Thing is, though, some people are just milquetoast because that's how they are. It's their personality. Or maybe because they're afraid of taking a stance on something that they know either partially or entirely their audience could get mad at them. I'm not milquetoast. You could call me anything, but that's one thing I'm not. I'll just say it. Smart move. It's not like there have been any big platform king's death before. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. It happens. It happens. Yeah. Absolutely. Autocorrect. Let's go. What, did I become Megatron? That's what I usually become with autocorrect. I go from being like an angel to being a Decepticon, which I mean, nothing against Decepticons. They are cool, but it is a downgrade if compared to a 72-winged angel. You know what I mean? Kick link is not shown on YouTube. Right now I'm not live on Kick because I can't go live 4 times. But I'll give you a link. I'll start putting it. You're right. I don't put it in the. I need to start putting it in the description and pinned comments. So thank you for reminding me of that. I'll absolutely do it. So yeah. Do you realize who just acquired YouTube? No, I didn't look at what's going on in the business side of the situation. Let me know. I haven't got a clue. Would explain why some channels have been getting deleted, though, if it's going where I think it is. Appreciate that, Anubis. Thank you so much. I tried watching Twitch without a sub ad blocker a few days ago and I got ad every 15 seconds. Yeah, no, Twitch can get really intense. At least on Twitch, though, when you become a sub, you don't get the... I am a sub of a couple of channels that I usually... I don't watch Twitch a lot, but I do sometimes, you know, in the evening if I'm doing something like retro brightening an old computer, or I'm polishing a helmet, or I'm doing something physical, right? That doesn't require a lot of mental attention, just a kind of... mechanical thing, then I will put up a streamer, whether it be Queso, he's really funny, makes me laugh, or whether it be whoever it is, like some of these streamers. And then the channels that I watch more consistently as an evening treat, I usually subscribe, because otherwise, yeah, the ads are insane. I don't even have control over that. I just put average ads. I know I could put no ads, but then, you know, you do need some, at least some ads. I just wish I could, like, say, you just keep it low. Yeah. You got a gifted membership, Heather? That's nice, from Larry, I guess. It's very nice. Oh dear, what did I walk into today? Oh, we haven't even started yet. We're just warming up. Right now, we're just warming up. But in a while, I'm going to start pulling some tabs. I'm going to start watching some videos. And yeah, it's going to get intense. Absolutely, it's going to get intense. I'm not saying no ads, but I'm just saying that ads on the side constantly do get annoying. Oh no, I agree with you, Spider, 100%. YouTube blocked you from getting gifts last November. Well, Napoleon, you tried to conquer Europe. You know what it is. I mean, it is what it is. Thank you, Evil Black, for the $5. Man, I can't even think today. Super chat. I'm gonna need some coffee. Remember that if the system is against you, it is only because it fears your progress. I agree. 100%. 100%. Kazan, the first Berserker. No, never tried it. What kind of game is it? Hello, Jenny. How's connection on Rumble, by the way, on Rumble's side? How's the connection? Hopefully a moderate take. As we were explaining, Baron, moderate takes are being reclassified as extremist takes anyways. It happens to me all the time. Apparently I'm a grifter for the far ultra-right, according to some people. Could you imagine if the ultra-far-right extremism looked like me? Could you imagine? So, I mean, it depends who you ask, I suppose. Apparently, there are people making videos saying, I'm worried. Metatron, what Metatron says is getting really disturbing. Really? Man. Goodness gracious. We could get your intro. We could... Goodness gracious, I can't read. I mean, we could get into your thoughts on ice. I think ice is great, and I put it always in my glass. In fact, without ice... It's not easy to enjoy a drink for me. It is what it is. We could ask the Pope what he thinks about ice, considering he blessed a block of it. Didn't he? Hey, Patrick. I'm a game designer in an industry that hates everything I stand for. You and me, my friend. I'm caught between wanting to stand out to sell games and wanting to lay low to not bring down bad press on myself. Well, my friend, I suggest the latter, considering the fact that people will... I suggest the former. The former. So stand for yourself, stand for your beliefs, and people will respect you for it. And when it comes to bad press, there is no such a thing. There is no bad publicity. It's all publicity. It's all engagement. And at the end of the day, what I think is this, because I'm trying to learn how to develop games myself. That's why I said what I said a second ago. I'm about a year into Unreal Engine. I still have a lot to learn. But one thing I want to say is, what's the point? At the end of the day, you need to ask yourself, and that's the same for content creation. Who do I want to make this content for? Like my game, my creations, my book, my videos, my time. For people who hate me and everything I stand for and would laugh and dance on my grave for what I believe. Or for people who are just normal. And I choose the second. So trying to pander to the mob never works, because then they control everything you say and do. And all you need to do is bend the knee once. So I suggest, do it, my friend. Do it. How's CCP go? CCP, Communist Party of China. Let's go. CPP going. I don't know what that is, my friend. Good evening. Dinner. You know, sometimes I have trouble understanding the little... Yeah. As I was saying, tonight I'm going to struggle with English, guys. I don't know what it is. I haven't slept great last night, but I decided to still go live today because it's the last day of the month, and so I kind of wanted to wrap it up into one final live stream, 2 videos, boom, because I already posted the one today, of course. I'm going to post again, and in fact, I'm going to post in about an hour or so into the stream. I already have the video prepared and unlisted, and I decided I'll just go do one last thing, and then tomorrow I'll just take it off. Oh, C++, now I'm learning Blueprint. I'm not even ready for C++. First, I'm going to learn the spaghetti code. Then we talk about proper code. Yeah. I didn't know that's how you write it. Thank you for that. For a moment, I thought we were talking about the Chinese Communist Party. Thank you, Higashi Martial Arts. Yo, Kyodai. Good to catch live. For those who don't know, Kyodai means brother in Japanese. How's your training going? Make sure to teach your son to train his mind, body, and faith, and set the example, my bro. Absolutely. Yeah, no, I've been training. It's just that... sometimes I wish I had more time, but I'm trying to still, like, sometimes I know I don't have much time for training. And so what I do is that, what I used to do is, today I can't, I'm too busy, I got to edit, I got to live stream, I've got to do this, I got to do that, and so I skipped the training session. But what I notice is it's much better to just do a short one. I'll just do one muscle group. When I know I'm really busy, I'll just do arms. I'll do like biceps and triceps, so I can do that in like 20 minutes. And I think that's better than skipping it completely when you're really busy. And in my situation, yeah, it's gonna get busier and busier, right? So that's how the training is going. It's continuing. It's continuing. And we'll see how it goes with that. Can't read your name, so let me move the chat a little bit. Oh, it's Ray again. Thank you, Ray. I'm only ultra right in video games because I need to put elves in their place, which is on their hands and knees. Do 1 or 2 things. Goodness gracious. I'm an elf supremacist, but you know that. You know that. You all know my stance when it comes to fantasy races. I love high elves. I tolerate wood elves. I hate dark elves. Everyone else is inferior. Hey, why so few people on here? I'm from Bulgaria. Hello, hello. Well, that's Twitch. How many people do we have? Well, 21 actually for me is not too bad. I know there are people that are like, what's the name? I've already forgotten his freaking name. Mizkif. It was like having a freaking child tantrum because he only had 19,000 people watching. Yeah, I'm the antithesis of that. I'm the opposite completely. So if I get 21 people, I'm like, hey guys, 21, we got one more tonight. That's amazing. Hey, oh, look where we got. We got a special one today. Hypnotic, the fellow grifter. How you doing, my friend? So good to see you. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you had a really good live stream. When did you stream? Saturday? Yeah, good to have you, Hypnotic. Great guy. Go subscribe to him. He's the man. It's easy. Just click his little thing here. Just click it, and then you go to channel and you subscribe. En masse. Let's go. And that's that. Yes, sir, doing well. Laughing at the fall out of my latest video against grifters. Oh, I'm gonna watch it. I'm so gonna watch it. Yeah, it's gonna be great. You're getting some good backlash. Backlash is a point of honor these days, particularly if, like, when I make a video, sometimes I tell my wife, hey, this video of mine is gonna generate at least 3, if not 4 extra subreddits dedicated to me. 100%. And it's basically like a hell spawn. You know, I've ever played Inferno on Heroes of Might and Magic 3, how they can spawn demons. That's what Redditors do, they spawn them. So yeah, what are we doing today? Today I'm going to war with a possibly, maybe not. But today we're going to review a few content creators pretty soon. We're going to start quite soon. One of the things I want to review is that apparently Mr. Shockman, aka Hamas Spiker, went into an interview with a UK, it's called Trigonometry something. It's like a right-wing, I believe, podcast. And they interviewed him. I'm still going to watch it. I'm not going to watch the whole thing. It's like an hour and a half. I can't handle an hour and a half of nonsense from Hassan. But I can handle some of it. And luckily, they did a very good job, differently from me. They did a very good job at organizing it in sections and splitting it in categories. So it's going to be very easy to navigate. We're going to check that one out. I saw clips of him praising China recently. Yeah, I saw that too. Oh my gosh, it was so obnoxious. He arrives there and he's like, oh, I'm already basically Chinese. And I'm like, yeah, I think Chinese people are going to have a thing or two to say about that. And but the other thing that was hilarious about him visiting China is that he was upset that people knew Asmongold. Of course they did, because he's the king. Yeah, they knew Asmongold because, sorry to tell you, Hassan, but Asmongold is #1 streamer. He's what he is. Am I right? You know, #2 is good. #2 is good. I'm not saying anything, but #1 is better. You see him get in trouble after he showed the picture of him as Mao. Yeah, honestly, that was comedy. Literally comedy gold. That was comedy gold. Like, if the same thing had happened, like Cops, if the same thing had happened in America with him having a picture of Trump, and Cops would have stopped him and be like, why are you doing this? What is this? What do you mean? Show us. Starting to speak, the guy's speaking Mandarin. Like, they're speaking Mandarin, right? 你是谁? They do that. If they did it in China, and he's all like, yeah, that's cool, it was great, that's nice. If the exact same thing had happened in the States, he would have talked about it until 2030. Literally, we would have had a colony on Mars called X, most likely. I mean, there's nothing we can do about that, guys. You know it's going to happen. So X, the new colony on Mars, is going to be built before he stops talking about, he would have stopped talking about complaining about fascist state, police state. It is what it is. I mean, to have rose glasses, not for China. China is amazing. I love Chinese history, the dynasties, the Ming Chao, so the Ming dynasty, all that. That's great. But to have rose glasses for Mao is like, okay. Listen, Hassan, just because you went to China to see what dog tastes like doesn't make you Chinese. Absolutely true. But to be fair, not all Chinese eat dog, and they only eat a very specific, select type of breed. So they would not eat kaya, which means for kaya will be better to be in China than to be in Hassan Piker's room. And that's a fact. That's a fact. That is a fact. Asmongold is like a drop of salmon in a world of bullshit. Asmongold is each and every single one of us with the difference that he speaks. He says what we all think. And that's why, and he's transparent, which is why I'm okay even when he has a take that I don't support. And oftentimes when Asmongold goes like crazy on a take, it happens, if you notice, if you look into this, it usually always happens after someone did something awful to him. It's a response mechanism. Which is why I'm like, yeah, I disagree with this take, but he's still cool. You know, the stuff that he gets, the hatred that he gets when both his parents died, it was insane. No wonder the guy sometimes flips. Everyone does. Did you see the meltdown Hassan Piker had? Everyone has a meltdown. I'm still waiting for mine. I'm waiting for when mine is gonna happen. You get featured a lot on Rumble too. You know, you're absolutely right. Rumble has been spamming me, and I really appreciate it. I kind of want to show you guys. I want to show you what we are talking about very quickly because, you know, I don't take anything for granted. I really don't. So this is my Rumble account. This is my Rumble. And then as you see, it's divided into channels because I like doing this. And right now the most successful one is the history one, but gaming is doing pretty well. Core is the one about politics. The views are great. Like even the gaming one is getting like 51,000, 124,000, 33,000, 25, 38, 43. These are better views than I get on freaking YouTube. Not everything. Like this one got 200 views for whatever reason. Maybe they didn't care about my wonderful gaming thing. But it is what it is. Like I'm not complaining. And even the history stuff is getting decent views. We got 47, 66, 35. This one kind of flopped. But then 60,000 on a channel that I opened like last week. Yeah, it's doing great. So, obviously the way Rumble works is that if you... So this is basically, I'll give you a link to this, I guess, the channels one. It's a good way to do it, I suppose. So let me bring the chat back. I don't know how many people are watching, to be honest. I didn't even check. We got 30 people on Twitch. That's nice. That's pretty good. That is fantastic. I'll be honest with you. That is incredible views. So I'm definitely going to work on that. Always glad to see you live. Thank you so much, Daniel. I really appreciate that. Nice work. Thank you, Hypnotic. So, yeah, stuff on Rumble is going well. Let me bring up the other chat. There it is. There we go. So now we've got all of them. I was about to... Guys, this is how nuts I am right now. But I was about to give a link to my people on Rumble about Rumble. How about that one? Yeah, that's good. You would eat duck? Oh, you're talking about Beijing Kaoya. I know how to say it in Mandarin. How do you say Peking duck? Is that how you say it in English? Yeah, Beijing Kaoya. It's pretty good. Yeah, no, they go good food. I love Chinese food. Are you joking? Chinese food is great. Yeah. I hope you will make you rich someday. But thank you, friend. I appreciate it. Honestly, I don't even care about... I mean, if I became rich, I'd be like, great. But I'm more interested in like having enough to always provide for my family and then buying the occasional Space Marine. If I got that, I'm happy, to be honest. Anything above that, I'll be very thankful for. And that's how it is. And links are loud. Sorry if they're not, but this is the song. Yeah, I don't click links. Sorry about that. So you'll have to just give me the title of the song. It's a channel policy. I'm not saying that I don't trust you. I'm just saying that as a channel policy, I never click any link, whether it be comments or anything. You just have to, unfortunately. Please don't support Games Workshop. I'll have to see what the company's doing, guys, but we'll have to see, because at this point, I don't know what is it that you don't like about Games Workshop, but these days, I mean, if they show a woman as a knight in a fantasy, I don't care. If that's what's annoying you, then I don't care. I don't know if it's something else, then we'll have to see. Then I could agree with you. Kind of depends on what it is. Embark and Dice. No, don't know what that is, to be honest, Ghost. Not really sure. Exactly, yeah. Asmongold also says something insane when one of his friends is getting backlash for something. And usually the backlash they're getting is disproportionate anyways. Ciao, you're from Greece, I see. Elada. Very cool. Grande Metatron, hi. Kalimera. Actually, Kalispera, because it's evening here. No, is it evening? Yeah, Kalispera I think is more correct right now, at least for me. Yeah. Is Metatron Imperium on Kick You? Yeah, that's me. I've also expanded on Kick. In fact, I would be live streaming on Kick 2 today. I just don't know if my live stream bandwidth can support 4 streams simultaneously. I mean, that sounds like a lot, but we will test it later. So what I'm going to do is that when I'm getting close to ending the stream, I'm going to try and add Kick, and we'll do a little test of like, we'll see. If it crashes, then at least I know, right? But I was going to end the stream anyways. So we're going to do that in a few hours. And instead, if it works, then I could like continue. Maybe we'll play a game. And so we can test it for about like half an hour or so for people on Kick. Because, I mean, if I can live stream simultaneously, multi-stream on 4 platforms at the same time, that would be insane, guys. Insane. You will go there and subscribe. I appreciate that. Thank you. What do you miss in 36 minutes? Not much. Just talking with chat right now. We're discussing a few things. Kind of going slow today. And but we will move very soon into the actual tabs that I've got prepared, and I've got a lot to say, my friends. Oh, Frederick, you don't know about the shock collar for his dog? Then you're gonna have to watch. I've got a few videos dedicated. I'm gonna have to reference you to those. There's a lot to say, but with the videos I provide proof, so there's that. My pleasure, Frederick. Absolutely. Double Freddy. I can't speak into the same. Is it 2 different Fredericks? Hello, Daddy Dant. I would agree with that, Roast. Yeah, you got to keep yourself. You know, I think at this point, like when you are in your 20s, you go to the gym first for the aesthetics of it, and then for the healthy factor. But when you're in your 40s, like me, it's swapped. Right? So I go primarily for the health reasons, but then as a secondary aspect, I mean, I don't mind the idea of putting on some muscle, to be honest, and so that's great. But it's a secondary then at that point. In your 20s, you think you live forever. That's so true. Absolutely. I never went for aesthetics. I only went for philosophy. Did you ever get a body out of that, though? You're never 40. I'm 43, my friend. I was released in 1982. So I'm going for 44. So there's that. Never trust a man who mistreats dogs. I absolutely agree. I would also say never trust a man who incites for political violence on the streets. But then again, I'd say yours is broader and therefore can be applied onto more people. And good question. The historical record for Cannae only ever tells how many Romans died. How come they never tell us how many of the Italian allies died during the battle? I think they just group them all in as our losses. And then when we describe it, we say Romans. I think that's really what the case is. I honestly don't even think they cared at that point, considering how dramatic the situation was. And when it comes to future historians, I think the point that they were trying to draw was we got defeated and destroyed, annihilated, but then we won. If you look at how it's like, it's always contextualized in a certain manner. Yeah. You finally came out of your conservative. I don't know what you mean by that. Let me see. Do I envision the potential for a schism in the Catholic Church? No, but I do imagine a lot of people leaving the Catholic Church because of the current Pope and just joining a different branch of Christianity. That I do see. Yeah. Favorite Warhammer 40k faction, Eldari. But I do like Space Marines. So I buy Space Marines for painting projects. Because I think they're really good. They work really well when it comes to painting. Hello, Scriber God. Hey there. There's Candra Scantina. Fellow content creator. Let's check it out. Wow, look at this. 320,000. I think I see you. I've seen you before, didn't I? Or am I misremembering? I think I've seen this before. Very cool. Nice channel. Imperials everywhere. I think the Empire was right, by the way. I do think the Empire, just like in Skyrim, the Empire was right all along. Skyrim belongs to the Nord. Skyrim is a freaking province. That's what I say. That's what I say. Very cool channel, man. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you as a guest. Let's get back to our relaxing oblivion before we move into something that isn't relaxing at all. But hey, it might be fun. Might still be fun. You're doing a good job for stream. Whatever my opinion is worth, I like the ambience of Elder Scrolls. Me too, I like that too. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, we're talking about Asano, right? We're talking about Shockman. Shockman. Is it too serious, the Islam problem in Italy? How about we talk about that one, but we see what Hassan Biker has to say, because it is one of the topics today, and I will speak my mind. We'll get to it. Favorite chapter? I think I'm very basic. I like Ultramarines, man. I think they're cool. Of course you choose the Elf faction, always. Always. Been following you for years. Appreciate the theological videos. Thank you so much, fellow Christian. I appreciate that, brother. Yeah, just posted one today. I think you probably were aware. Or maybe not, since people are not getting notifications. But I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, Oblivion is great. Not really playing it. It's just putting it here for a background while we reach chat. Sounds like a Mega Man boss. Shockman. It actually does. You're absolutely right. Is not Hassan busy crashing out on his own chatters? He was. He had a massive meltdown, which I thought was hilarious. And then apparently he was invited by Trigonometry guys. And they had a podcast interview. I'm really curious. We're going to watch that. Smurf Marines. That's funny. Which one is it, Ganim? Did you send it via email? Or was it on X? I'm seriously surprised Hassan hasn't completely buried himself yet with the takes he has. He catches flack, but he never gets... Yeah, because he's got friends in high places, as they say when it comes to Twitch. So he'll never get banned off of Twitch. It's never going to happen. He can say anything. At this point, we know it. He can literally break the law on camera, and he won't get banned for it. Yeah, the email. I'll check it out then. Sorry, I haven't checked it yet. Was it on the Metatron sponsorship email? Because I got a few emails, so I'll have to see which one it is. Welcome to Rumble. Thank you so much, Gaming on Rumble. I did see your comment under one of my gaming things. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Do you do retro? Are you vintage like me? You have a short fan film Warhammer 40k when Alexius Ionus is the chaplain holding a sermon to the boys. Ooh, I'll have to check that one out. Sounds fun. I'll definitely check your channel out, by the way. I'll have to watch it. We need to find good creators to watch these days. Also because there are plenty of creators that I'm watching, and then they have an insane take. And usually I'm not the kind of guy who's like, well, if you disagree with me, I unsubscribe. No, I don't do that. But when it's a matter of basic human decency, then it starts to become a little bit of a problem. Charlie Kirk. So we'll have to see, you know. There are a few creators that have said some stuff, and I'm like, oh, I never get by. Sorry. It's just all we are asking is like basic decency when it comes to Charlie Kirk and what happened to him. It really is all we're asking. Critical Drinker. Oh, I see. Very cool. Very cool. Man, Critical Drinker was really fun, that podcast. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Hey, Metatron, new viewer here. Saw the Easy Tiger and could not agree more. She got dog. Yeah, for no reason at all. That's it is what it is. I mean, you got crazies everywhere. And so when you see them, you gotta call them out. Official Rumble gaming account. Oh, that's awesome. Man. Very cool. Well, thank you for being here. Awesome stuff. And thank you for gifting 10 subscriptions to... Oh my gosh, Gaming on Rumble. That is amazing. Thank you so much for your generosity, man. I need to stop drinking this. It's probably annoying to watch me constantly drink. I don't actually realize. It's one of those things. You ever get a situation where, I don't know why, like, for instance, I'll get fixated while I'm filming a video, get fixated with an expression, whether it be, if you will, so to speak, of course, and I'll spam it. I'll spam it and I don't even realize it. And then when I'm editing it, I'm like, I didn't say at this point again, did I? And I do. So I have to like literally edit them out. Also because my editors don't do that, because maybe they think, I don't know, maybe they think it's bad. I'll have to tell them, like, if I repeat the same thing like 7 times in 3 sentences, please remove them. I'll have to tell them that, because I think they're too polite. When it's me, though, I start cutting everything up because it's annoying. So you get a much better product than what I actually film, just so you know. But on live stream, I might start doing the same thing over and over without even realizing it. Boom, solved. You're drinking sake? Oh no, I'm just drinking soda. It's supposed to be healthy soda, but yeah. You're featured now on Rumble with this stream, Real Metatron. Oh, very cool. Yeah, nice. I appreciate that. I'll have to see how we're doing, by the way, with the stats. That's another thing, because I'm still learning, you know, still very new on Rumble. It's kind of like when I first started streaming on Twitch, people were giving me bits, I think they're called. I didn't even know what they were. I had no idea that they actually, it's basically a way to donate money, if you will. I had no idea. So I was like, oh, bits, nice, thank you. And then I'm like, oh, I'm like, you should say thank you for that. Like, oh, sorry. Yeah, I do say of course a lot. That's one of my favorite. Can confirm I see you next to Nedrotic on the front page. No, I do appreciate that a lot, actually, on Rumble. Rumble has been like pushing my stuff, and I don't take it for granted. And I am very appreciative. Like, literally, I'm getting views there that are better than my 1 million subscriber channel on YouTube. That's insane. Not the subscribe counts mean anything anymore, because YouTube decided, no, well, just, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You built a community 12 years of work. Oh, who cares? Now it's just on a video basis. And that's how it is. So I do appreciate that. Your first Rumble rant. In terms of rant, it's proper, yes. Of course, yeah, lots of people are getting that. Who's Viva Frey? I don't know who that is. They're after me? Well, great. What's the news? I love your videos. Thank you so much. Voice was relaxing. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. But seriously, Gaming on Rumble, thank you so much for the gifted subscriptions. I really appreciate that. If you ever want to hop on a call, I'll walk you through all of the Rumble ecosystem. I'll shoot you an email with my contact from my Rumble email. Yes, please. Absolutely. You can use the Metatron probably either on X, or you can send that on X if you want. Or otherwise, you could use my Metatron sponsorship email, and I'll let... My wife usually checks that one before I respond to it, so I'll let her know. But thank you so much again. I really appreciate that. Man, the gaming side, I'll be honest with you, because of course I opened 4, as I was showing a second ago, I opened 4 channels on Rumble. But the one that I'm really hoping takes over the most is the gaming one, because the gaming channel on YouTube, my Metatron history only on YouTube is doing really well, and it's pulling above its weight line, but weight class. But my gaming channel, I've been doing it for like 2 years. It's just stifled. There's too much competition on YouTube for the gaming side, and so I have a lot of gaming content. And I love the gaming side of it. And seeing videos that on the YouTube side get 500 views and on Rumble get 120,000, the same video, it's like, yes, finally. You know what I mean? Yeah. Also, Nedrotic is based. Did the focus on history in your main channel cause problems with the algorithm? Yes. No, not when I shifted away from it. I started shifting away from it because the videos were not getting enough views. And so we are in a situation now with Metatron, and that's the reason why I created Metatron History. This is the situation. The same video, if I on history, regardless of quality, if I post it on Metatron, it's going to be 10 out of 10 gray arrow, worst performing. If the same video is posted on Metatron History, is 1 out of 10, best performing, green up arrow. It is what it is. Unfortunately. So that's why I've been like posting like a maniac on Rumble. I've been posting like, yesterday I think I posted 8 videos because I did 2 per channel, and I'll continue to do that. I didn't realize that many people were using Rumble. It's really starting to become a good alternative, because there are other people, like if you remember, there was another one called Odyssey a few years ago. It collapsed. Before that one, there was Vimeo, and it collapsed. Rumble, I think, is the only one that seems to actually continuously grow and get as a good like free speech alternative, if you will, where I don't have to be careful what I say and how I say it, which is what I appreciate. That's why people use Rumble. I just explained it. Well, some people are banned off of like Twitch or YouTube, and so they go to Rumble. But in general, the idea is that it gives you more freedom of speech without having to be careful of like, if I say this, I might get deleted or shadow banned. And so there's that I do appreciate. Rumble is about 47 million users. Yeah, that's impressive. I personally think it will continue to grow. That's what I think. Rumble has always treated their creators well. Up to this point, I have to agree, absolutely. Personal experience, yes. Everything's going to be AI, bro. You know, that's another big problem that I do want to address. And I want to make a dedicated live stream one of these days where I invite a few creators and we all express, possibly even from different niches, and we express what our opinions when it comes to AI and content creation. Because honestly, I will tell you this much. As a content creator, particularly on the history side of things, when I see a channel and they have a lot less subscribers than me, but they get a lot of views, but it's quality content on history, I'm happy for them. I'm genuinely happy for them. I'm like, yeah, go for it. You put in the work. If it's nonsense or it's awfully made and they get a lot of views, it annoys me. I'll be honest with you. But if it's well made and it's like, oh, but they have 50,000 subscribers, who cares? You did a good job. Good. Meritocratic. I appreciate that. But the one thing that pisses me off is AI slop. And I see continuously, I know that like YouTube has been targeting these and deleting them. And I hope that they continue to do that. But I also know that because they're using an algorithm to do it, AI themselves. So I'm afraid that there will be some friendly fire, if you will. So, but anyways, I see these channels. They're like 5,000 subscribers. Everything is AI. The content is AI. The voice is AI. The thumbnail is AI. The images is AI. Everything is AI. 1.3 million views on a video about Bronze Age. If I make a video about Bronze Age, I get 10 out of 10 that doesn't even hit 20,000 views. And yeah, that annoys me. The fact that I have to compete with a machine, and also it's not even well done. Like, it's basically the sloppiest form of slops, the laziest way to try and cheat a system and work around rules in order to make as much money as possible, and you do not care one bit about misinformation. And never mind educational content, is anti-educational content has been rewarded. So that's the one thing I absolutely hate. That's the one thing I absolutely hate about AI and content creation on any platform. Yeah. I downvote any AI slop I came across. That's great, but remember, they made downvotes invisible now. I already know Shad's opinion on AI. Yeah, I mean, AI is one of those topics where I will disagree with Shad, even though he's a good friend of mine, a good friend of the channel. With that being said, I don't think Shad would disagree with me when it comes to how bad AI history videos are. Like, he has his own takes when it comes to AI art, but when it comes to AI replacing historical creators and human-produced content that is researched, there is no way he's going to support that. No way. I mean, I can invite him and ask him, but then again, I genuinely think he will agree with me on that. That is an awful way to use AI. Thank you, Evil Black, for 10 Metatron memberships. Guys, you've been amazing tonight. No flat earth? No, sorry, my friend. Neither now, not in the Middle Ages, to be honest. Am I going to DM the D&D games? No. Like, who has the time? My wife plays with a group. She's a player. But I usually can't join the group because I'm just busy doing my own things. No, I never made a video on the Book of Enoch. I should, shouldn't I, with my name? Your history content is based, by the way. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Try to keep it real. I never learned any Turkish, no. Metatron, Viva Frey is a lawyer from Canada that talks politics. And okay, and he made a video about me, or you mean like on X? Because I think I did see someone on X that said something nonsensical about me, so maybe that's what it was. Let me add it into my notes so that I can check it later. I'll add it into the BN notes so we can add it here. And there we go. All right, done. Let me see. Viva Frey. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Excellent. Cool stuff. Thank you for that. I'll check him out. Check him out later. We'll see. I don't mind people disagreeing with me as long as they don't misrepresent, which is like 90% of people who make videos about me. It's always like, are you saying? And then they add a straw man that I don't say, and then they try to shame me on that I didn't say. But I don't know if that's the case. Maybe it's not the case. I'll check it out. Don't get me started about misinformation generated by AI. I know, my friend. I know. Yeah. It is what it is. Also because there are still people that think the AI cannot get things wrong. We haven't reached advanced general, like AGI, right? Artificial General Intelligence. We haven't got there. So AI does get things wrong all the time. And so yeah, there's that. Frey's a good guy? Oh, good. Okay, well, nice for a change. We all went live every day with what really happened at the Canadian... Oh, that's good then. I'll check him out, 100%. For some reasons, I thought someone was saying, Metatron, have you seen that Hassan Piker went to China? Yeah, made a video about it. I have a video about that. Talking about Hassan Piker, let's jump into it. Let me move chat. Let me stop Oblivion. And let's jump into it. Let's see if this interview with Hassan Piker is going to change my mind. And I'm going to start thinking, you know what? This guy is actually based. I don't think so, to be honest. But here we are. Okay, so let me see. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is time. The time has come. Shockman has agreed to an interview, and I'm all for it. Let's have a look. So we are checking out channel Trigonometry. 1.59 million subscribers 7 days ago. And as we read, Hassan Piker is a Turkish-American Twitch streamer, political commentator, and influencer. Okay, well, I know who Hassan Piker is. You could have just said Shockman, we all know. So anyways, apparently they had him over. And Trigonometry is proudly independent. Thanks for the sponsors. Fantastic. Oh, yeah, they recommend Brad. Brad is a good guy. I like Brad. I do like Brad. You guys know Brad, right? All right, so Piker. Let's have a look a little bit. So what have we got here? So we got the introduction. We can check just the beginning of the introduction, but I'm really more interested into the meat and bones. And also it's very long, so I'll have to consider that. Another thing I have to consider is this beautiful super chat from Ray. Thank you, my friend. That reminds me there's still this channel on YouTube that keeps posting polls, and one of them was about AI, and the answer that got the most votes was to shut it down completely. Well, yeah, of course. I don't even know who the heck are these people that watch the AI content, to be honest. It pisses me off. Thank you for the other super chat. I'm going to give you my opinion right now. It's never going to happen. Pandora's box has been opened. There's no way of closing it now. And, you know, it's a little doomsday thinking, but I'm going to say you're probably right. You are probably right. Yeah. The Twitch stream is getting paused. I don't know, maybe because I complained about Hassan Piker. Well, you let me know. You let me know, guys. Okay, so what else have we got? So, introduction. What are progressive values? Yeah, we'll see what he says about that. How would you convince P? Is there a country that has, I think that's the one where they ask if there is a country that has pulled off socialism in a way he likes. He's going to say China. Mass immigration. Whoa. Mass immigration. Okay. Are Muslims in the UK trying to, I think, do the Sharia law was the question. So I'm so looking forward. We're definitely going to check this one out for some gaslighting. Would you like communism? Communism leads to authoritarianism. I mean, yeah. At least that's what we have seen historically. The assassination of Charlie Kirk, we are checking that one out. Is Nigel okay? I don't particularly care about this one in the moment. I know it's one of the Muslim politicians, I think, in the UK. So we might check it out. But let's see. Let's see the introduction, please. Who is Shockman? Oh my gosh, I've got no problem with communism as Sam Piker. That's just how it starts. Okay, right. But I'm not hearing anything, so I need to increase the volume. 1 second, guys. We cannot lose a single syllable, ladies and gents. So let me just refresh my headphones. I can't stop. I won't stop. Yeah. All right, let's go. Let's go.
Nice to be here, guys.
Why the big sigh?
Italy's Mussolini and Adolf Hitler's Nazi Germany were ruthless fascist forms of governance. My fear is that is where capitalism inevitably leads. There's too much instability, there's too much chaos. We need to restore order.
Is there a country that's done socialism the way that you like?
I would say China is probably the closest, I would say, to an example that we should follow.
Like communism in America?
I think that communism would be most likely an international thing. It'd be like the Star Trek universe.
You think the Reform Party is
I think
fascist?
Reform Party, as it stands currently, is a nascent fascist parliamentary group that hasn't reached its full potential yet.
Holy moly, that introduction alone. I love it. How he's like Mussolini in Italy and Uncle Austrian Painter in Germany. Oh, they were horrible. They did that. But he never mentioned Stalin, of course. No, that one was like flowers everywhere. And then, oh goodness gracious, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. Also, why Dungeon and Democracy? That Dungeon of Democracy, is that supposed to be a funny shirt?
Relax. This isn't an ad. If you're not a fan of ads but love trigonometry, join the thousands of trigonometry members who get extended interviews, no ads, early access, and the ability to submit questions for upcoming guests.
Let's go.
Sign up now at triggerpod.co.uk or click the link in the description of this episode.
Sounds good.
Sam Piker, welcome to Trigonometry.
Welcome.
Nice to be here, guys.
Why the big sigh?
We'll see. We'll see how this goes.
Yeah.
I'm getting cooked right now.
Yeah.
For those of you at home watching, and this has got to be extra weird for you guys because you're British, and this is what the sun looks like normally.
Yeah. No, it's nice to know.
When he said I'm getting cooked, I thought he meant for his views, to be honest. But it's not like he's ever gonna admit that. China is the best example. Does he know that China uses a form of capitalism to make money? That is my reply every single time, by the way, but it's not like he's gonna... don't tell him, his brain might melt on second thought. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, isn't it? Let me see. Great thing about Rumble, you can call Hassan a retard and no get demonetized for it. Yeah, that's true. That is true. That is true. On YouTube, instead, I'm gonna have to, like, edit it out. It is what it is. Let's go.
Enjoying it. I'm sorry about the sun. This is not deliberate. We're not trying to cook you, literally.
Yeah.
But welcome to the show. Tell us a little bit about you. Like, you obviously have got a massive Twitch channel. You're very successful streaming. Twitch is a gaming platform, but you talk on there, and that's what people follow you for. How did you get there? What's been your journey through life?
You know, what I've just realized before we listen to his wonderful explanation, I just realized this, guys. I don't know if you noticed. Hassan Piker is the equivalent of the bro science guy at the gym that explains science to you. but for politics. He's the bro politics. That's why it worked so well on Twitch, of all places. No, really, think about it. He's the bro politics. Bro.
I started my professional media career, I guess, as a nepotism recipient at my uncle's 26-person YouTube startup media network.
His uncle meaning the one who likes horses.
I feel like calling it a media network is interesting because like at that time, at that point, it was smaller than like a mid-tier podcast, you know? But I started there because I just wanted to not live in New Jersey. I wanted to live in LA. And that's where the Young Turks headquarters were. And I, much like virtually all of my peers, came out of college with a double major, great marks.
Triple major. Of course, he's never going to mention the Man of Steel. He was sad the US beat USSR. He said himself, yeah, I saw it. And then he wonders why he wasn't allowed upstairs. He makes statements like this. Unfortunately, the US defeated the USSR because, of course, Gulag, who wouldn't want that for Dungeon of Democracy? I mean, he does like dungeons, so maybe Gulag's in a way. Democracy, however. So there is that. Bro.
And no job prospects whatsoever. So I was like, all right, I'll just start off my journey here, and it'll allow me to it'll allow me to be in LA where I want to be, right?
Wonderful.
And slowly but surely,
I'd like to underline LA when he wants to be in his $3 million estate. Just putting it out there, shocking dogs. So, you know, I'm not particularly interested in roasting. I will continue to do this, and in fact, I'm enjoying it very much. But I think I'm going to stop roasting him on his own career, which we all know. You know, the champagne and whatnot. Great. So he loves freedom, champagne, and money. All three things are incompatible with communism. Now, there is a section about progressive values. It's rather large. I do want to see the mass migration one, because I do have a pretty strong ideas when it comes to mass immigration, particularly the illegal kind. So let's have a look.
and
See, the reason a lot of them will say that, though, is it's not so much about that we're not like China in terms of building high-speed rail, although that is a big issue in the UK.
Yes.
I agree with you.
Yep.
The main reason is they feel like they've been let down by mass immigration that's eroding the values of their country.
Yes.
And of course, you know, this is where I think people on the right are very blind to this issue that we already raised, which is wealth inequality and opportunity. Right?
I'm sure there are some people who feel that way, of course, but
well, think about this, Hassan.
but
Right?
even
Hold on,
with
let me just finish
okay,
the point.
go ahead.
Like,
Good point.
stereotypically speaking, is it left of center people or right of center people that are going to go and fight for their country? Typically, it's going to be right of center people because of the mindset that they have.
Like patriotism, I think he's going for. He disagrees, but so we'll see how he's gonna. I understand his point of view. I mean, of course, there are plenty of people in the armed forces who are left of center. With that being said, I think he's talking about patriotism, probably how he could have worded it.
Right?
I think when push comes to shove, everybody fights for their country because that's why you have to have a draft.
In a war. But what we're talking about in this situation is, will you go and serve in the armed forces? That is going to be a more right-leaning perspective. And those people, we probably, fair to say, know the UK pretty well. Those people are concerned about the national identity of their country. It's like, why would I fight for a country that doesn't feel like my country?
I mean, that's a good point. Now that he fully fleshed it out, this is the first time I watched them, by the way, I haven't got a clue. But I'm just saying that was a good point, because at the end of the day, I do notice that there are a lot of people, maybe in the progressive, I'm not sure about liberals, to be honest, but when it comes to the progressives, at least, they freaking hate America. They hate America, they hate the West, they hate themselves, they hate their own skin when they're white. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if that's going to breed people who are going to be like, yeah, now I want to enlist to defend my own country. So I do understand where he's coming from. You'll have to explain to me if there is one specific subsection of the left where you're like, oh, no, that only applies to X and not Y. Be more than happy for you to correct me. But I see where he's going with that. Looking forward to his rebuttal.
The issue for them.
This is where the big point of division comes for someone like myself.
Right.
you're Venezuelan originally. Like
Yeah.
your family came from Venezuela. Your family came from the USSR.
Legally.
You guys are the most British people I've ever encountered.
I have a very
Okay?
British face.
Yes.
You are correct.
Yeah, exactly. You're British to the bone.
Yeah.
Right.
And yet your families also came from countries that were somewhat far away from England, right?
Yeah.
And I'm Turkish. I grew up in Turkey. My whole family lives in Turkey still, with some exceptions. And I would say I'm pretty assimilated.
For instance, his mother. Did he say he's pretty assimilated? Well, I'm not sure, man. You want to shoot people? That's not very American for their speech. So we'll have to readdress that one later. Maybe pencil it in. Let's put a pin on that. But oh, goodness gracious, if he's an example of assimilation, I mean, we have a very different definition of the statement. Whatever. Gosh, when it comes to his family, by the way, the one in Turkey, do remember that he said that he grew up in poverty and struggling, but then at a distance of, I don't remember how long, but on a separate live stream, he also said that he grew up affluent. And then, so I looked it up because I'm like, it's either one or the other, right? Because you can't have the two statements are mutually exclusive. You either grew up in poverty, struggling to reach the end of the freaking month, or you grew up affluent, meaning that you were so rich you never have to think about anything. But he stated both. So considering the fact that he does lie at a compulsory level, then I decided to check in myself. And yes, this family that he's talking about, dad is employed for a multi-billion company, and mom, in fact, controls. He himself said that his mother is a fantastic way of a strong, independent, feminist woman who invests, like she controls, I don't know how many estates. So, yeah, that family in Turkey. Just so we're clear.
To American culture. I grew up being fascinated by American culture. I grew up consuming American pop culture, as do many people all around the world.
Yeah.
And what I always find interesting is when people
did not work, did it?
People focus on the newcomers to say that this is actually destroying the social fabric or social cohesion.
No, it's only the ones that come here and hate us, to be honest, and enter illegally. People who come here, like me, who come through the legal channels, love America, respect it, believe in the Constitution, believe in freedom, appreciates the freedoms that I have, same freedoms that you are using, by the way, to counter the government. These freedoms you wouldn't have if it was another country, like, for instance, the USSR, and that you like so much. But yeah, no, the people, like, absolutely, it's only the people that come here. As I always say, guys, if you hate the West, stay out of the West. It's actually quite simple as a concept, I believe. Would he be the black sheep of his family? I don't know, maybe brown? White. But he's white in China, by the way. That's what he said. He said himself, he's not white in America, but when he went to China, he said he was white. So that's interesting how he changes color, apparently. He changes ethnicity. You know, when we say that ethnic makeup and phenotypic traits are immutable characteristics of an individual, and that's why we usually shouldn't use those against people. Well, for him, they're mutable. For Assam Paiker is the only human being, ladies and gentlemen, whose immutable characteristics such as phenotypic traits and genetic makeup, in fact, are mutable. So there is that.
Not realizing that there are a ton of polls conducted on this stuff. I can just speak for America, especially, where by the second generation, assimilation is almost complete, and by the third one, it's like virtually impossible to distinguish in terms of performance, educational output, and job performance in general. It's just like everyone becomes American.
That's not true in the UK, though, unfortunately. So if you look at, for example, Islamist radicalization, second and third generation Muslims are much more radical than first generation.
Yeah.
So we're not, that's the issue that a lot of people in Britain are concerned about, is not everyone's assimilating the way that the three of us have done.
So
that is very interesting, actually. So he literally gave them, this guy's good, by the way. This guy just he let him talk, and he literally let him self-destruct. Here's the thing, though. I'll see how he responds, but he's now praising assimilation. Hold on a minute. Assimilation is what the right wing pushes. Of course, there are some elements in the right that are like all immigrants out of here, me included, by the way. I get it. I'm not discussing those. But I'm saying, generally speaking, The right wing says, or conservative thinking is, if you come here, assimilate, learn the language, learn the culture, accept the, work hard, pay your taxes, give no trouble, respect the law, respect the country, respect the people in this country. That's assimilation. So now he's using assimilation as an example of a good immigrant, but hold on a minute, you're basically presenting a right-wing point at this, or a centrist point perhaps. So there's this. Konstantin Kisin is brilliant. Yeah, this guy's good. This guy is really good. I'll have to, for what I could see right now. It's funny because, the problem is we complain about the people that come here hating us and maintain the hatred.
Well, here's the interesting point about that. Well, two things I want to address.
Please.
First, like I said, people assimilate. It's and they become a part of the
no problems with that.
Normal forces of society.
Absolutely.
They become a part of the culture, or they bring some aspect of their culture into British culture. They change the cuisine, and people seemingly enjoy it, even if
Chicken tikka masala.
they also simultaneously go attend an EDL rally and then get a little quick curry afterwards, or a little kebab on the side. But beyond that, the reason why people are angry is always going to be because the trains are not running on time, because the NHS is improperly managed due to underfunding. That's what I believe. I think it's always an issue of underfunding, where they're not getting the same services that they once used to, and also things are becoming more and more costly. So in that anger, it's much easier for them to be guided by a guided by the right-wing forces to turn around and say, you're angry and you're right to be angry. And the reason why you're angry, the reason why all of these things are happening is because we are importing all of these random strangers into the country who don't speak your language,
Based. Yeah. I agree with that take that he disagrees with when it comes to the illegals.
Were scared by, and that I think causes division, and it causes friction that makes it harder for people to integrate. And that is part of the reason why I think, especially in a place like the UK, you see a little bit more of this resilience towards full-blown integration into society.
I love the fact that he thinks that, so he will be one of the major spearheads for hate everything American, hate America, hate capitalism, hate the free market, including the free market of ideas, hate the free speech, hate this, hate that, hate the country, hate the president, hate the system, hate the money, hate everything about America. And then he's like, oh, but it's the right wing's fault if people don't want to integrate. Integrate on what? You literally are telling people to hate it. And again, I'm not saying that there aren't faults on the right wing. So absolutely, yes. I've been debunking both for years, but it's not a both sides thing. And regardless, right now, I'm interested in listening to these two gentlemen. Maybe it's my bias, guys. I don't know. But so far, the guy on the right, but this guy too, but this guy, Constantine's been speaking facts. Speaking facts. Shockman, however.
I also think as well, Hassan, if we're being honest, it's also because we have had such huge amounts of immigration come into the country that people understandably go, this pace of change is too much. And you have to think, let's go back to 2016, which was the Brexit referendum. Now, Brexit was about many things, but really it was about people wanting immigration to be lowered. And that was nigh on 10 years ago. Immigration hasn't been lowered. In fact, it's been ratcheted up. So people people voted.
I wonder what's funny about that, by the way.
To lower immigration. And for instance, I voted Remain. People voted Brexit. I'm like, well, that's democracy. We get on. We're going to make the best of it.
Right.
I do believe that when you ignore people's wishes at the ballot box and people explicitly vote for something and you ignore them for the best part of a decade, that does generate a lot of anger, and understandably so.
Together with the raping of children.
Yeah, I think in that same time frame, if there was enough appetite by the government to address the financial harm that people were experiencing, the economic struggles that people were experiencing, there would still be a lot of people who say, I don't want a brown person, I don't want a black person around in my neighborhood. But ultimately, those numbers would be far smaller. And that's what I always go back to. I'm a leftist. I believe in,
yes, you are.
in economic improvements. And I believe that a lot of the reactionary forces actually take advantage of that instability, the economic volatility that exists, in an effort to shift the attention away to people who have the same exact interests as you and I do. Because ultimately, I don't believe that anyone is coming into the United States of America or the UK, as a matter of fact, because they want to bring about a Salafist-style Islamic caliphate.
Oh, you gotta be joking. Oh, my God. Wait, I need to prepare for this. He's gotta destroy him. Guys, did you see what happened? Did you see what happened? You know what he did? I told you this is bro politics. I told you this is bro politics. He just made a categorical statement. Categorical statement, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to be annihilated. Now, you never make categorical statements. That's something you learn in history already. Never mind in politics and political discourse. There is absolutely no one who's coming into the UK and America, apart from the fact that the UK is already basically on its way to becoming the United Caliphate regardless, but whatever. Oh, that's insane. Man, we can find a million interviews with Muslim with machetes screaming, saying we're gonna take you out, we're gonna replace your numbers because we have 15 children each, and you guys, white people, don't even breathe. Like, it's everywhere. Oh, I'm so looking forward to see, but please destroy, please catch on to it. Please, I'm sure they do. If I do, these guys are pros. 100% they're going to do it. Let's go.
In London. I know you won't agree with me on
it's
this.
It's not about whether I agree, it's about whether the facts agree with you.
I don't think that's the case.
Hold on.
I think
ultimately, let me just give you some facts then.
Please.
If that, we have a terrorist attack on a monthly basis by an Islamist, effectively. We just had 2 in the space of the last month as we're reporting this. 33%, I think, of British Muslims want Sharia law in Britain.
Okay, let me pause this. They were prepared. Oh my gosh. Sharia law, 33% of all, which of course, then again, we are not going to do the same. We're not going to make the same mistake, right? We're not going to say all Muslim immigrants or all Muslim residents want Sharia law. But 33%, even though it's not even majority, it's a massive chunk. So 33%, dear Hassan Biker, is not no one, is it? 33% want Sharia law? Yeah, what happens when you vote someone like that in power? What happens when that happens? More than half of British Muslims want to make it illegal to show a picture of the Prophet Muhammad, compared to just 16% of the wider public. Yeah. Now, of course, I haven't vetted these numbers myself. Sounds very reasonable, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Let's go. See, the problem with Hassan Piker, though, is that this specific 33% of Muslims tend to be very outward about it.
Like, according to polls? More than half want to ban...
I haven't seen these polls.
Well, we can put them in for people to see. More than half want to ban homosexuality, right? So when you say people aren't coming in to introduce an Islamist stuff, well, some of them want to, if they're in a position to do so. We have... Annihilated. You see? When someone says no one, you say some, and you already win. I told you it was bro. 5 MPs, some of them want to, if they're in a position to do so. We have... 5 MPs who are effectively elected on a sectarian ticket, like as in we are Muslims, vote for us because you're a Muslim.
Mm-hmm. Who would you say those MPs are?
The 5 independent MPs. They're called the Gaza MPs or whatever way you want to call them. Right?
Are you talking about like Zara Sultana?
I don't know if she's one of them. I think one of them is called Adnan Hussein. There's 5 of them. We can look them up. We can put them in for people to see. Yeah. Right. So I think it should be said that the overwhelming majority of British Muslims don't want Sharia law. Of course. But if 33% of them do, you can see why a lot of people who don't want Sharia law might be concerned about that, right? Of course.
Sure. I don't...
I love the sure. I love I can't even say the way he said it. Sure. Did I do it right? Probably not. I suck at doing accents like that. Sure. I don't know.
I don't know what, I haven't seen these polls, and I also don't know what British Muslims, or the 33% that are saying they want Sharia law, like what they're talking about.
Yes, you do. Isn't he a Muslim? Of course you know what Sharia law is. Oh, that's insane.
You want smart, fearless commentary on the craziest things happening in media, politics, and online culture, you'll love the Brad versus Everyone podcast.
He's
hosted
good.
by Brad Palumbo, an independent journalist who calls it like it is.
Since he calls it like it is, then I will call it how it is. His surname is Italian, and it's pronounced Palumbo. Palumbo. I refuse to pronounce it in any other way. Palumbo.
The podcast covers viral madness from across the political and cultural spectrum, and no one's safe. He goes after Gen Z TikTok scammers and far-right grifters. He'll take apart progressive media darlings and...
Yeah, he's very centrist. Clearly right, since we're talking about Brad, right? Brad is like a centrist, center-right guy, for those who don't know. Really good. I like him a lot.
MAGA influencers, all from a place of sharp moderation, not blind loyalty.
Yeah.
Think of it like trigonometry's younger American cousin. Same instinct for cutting through the noise, same appetite for the stories everyone else is too scared or too biased to cover. If you like your commentary honest, sharp, and entirely uncancelable, find Brad versus Everyone on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.
I agree with him.
The counterexample always is, I mean, there's plenty of right-wing forces in the country that also want to ban homosexuality.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's, I'm just going to say it, guys. I'm just going to say it because, I mean, with people like Hassan, it's just a matter of how good a point sounds, not the veracity thereof. I'm just going to say it. Take a poll of 1 million Christian immigrants and take a pool of 1 million Muslim immigrants. Within those percentages, how many do you think are going to be more towards the idea of we want a liberal democracy or we want a, whatever, Republican constitutional republic? And how many of those are going to want a theocratic authoritarian system? Likewise, how many of those do you think are going to say, on the basis of my personal faith, I want to use the power of the government to ban gay marriage? The percentages are not going to be the same. And that's a fact. It's a fact. So it's pointless that he's now going to say, let's see, I don't want to speak too much. I want to let them speak. Thank you. A Metatron, you have to assimilate. You got to say it the English way. What would that be? I am speaking the English language. So, oh, you're right, Palumbo. Okay, I'll do it. You're right. Palumbo. Do they say Palumbo? Palumbo. Brad Palumbo. Assimilated enough for you? Let's go.
And
no,
I mean, or
ooh, that was a good no.
Homosexuality, and or trans people in general, right?
No, like no one wants to ban trans people in Britain.
How do you ban trans people? Sorry for the frequent stopping, but I have to say this. How do you ban them? I'm not quite sure how you ban. Like I can see how people can politically ban homosexual marriage, same-sex marriage. How do you ban trans people? I mean, the only thing you can politically ban is for minors or children to have access to hormone treatment and surgery. That I'm very strongly in favor of, the banning of such treatments for minors. But when it comes to adults,
no.
Okay, well, that's not what I have seen so far, but maybe I'm wrong on this.
What do you mean?
But I mean, I feel like there's a lot of this is a point of contention for you guys as well. But it's like when you want to ban trans people altogether, when you want to remove access to medication for trans people to transition and conform their own gender identity, you don't start off by saying we want to altogether ban trans people. You start off by trying to find the most successful approach that the broadest majority of the masses would be in tune with, would be in agreement with, and then you slowly but surely expand on it.
Wouldn't that
The
be like
maximalist
me
pos-
saying? Wouldn't that be like me saying, well, you say you want socialism, but actually you're a communist because you just want to edge your way towards communism step by step?
It is the same
that
thing.
seems like an unfair way of looking at it.
No, my retort to that would be that while I don't call myself a communist, I don't have an issue with an end goal of communism. I don't think it's like I just think that it's probably not likely to happen, a stateless, moneyless, borderless society. But moving towards that end goal, I don't have any.
Why does he say borderless society? Do you think the USSR didn't have borders? And again, I understand that the USSR didn't specifically manifest communism because, although then again, I mean, in thought, they were communists. But in practice, they were socialists. We get that. But why do you think communism is about borderless? That thing I don't understand. Is there something from the Karl Marx writings that I'm misremembering? Because I know the economic section, but I'm a little confused with the borderless idea. That I'm a little confused.
You'd like communism in America?
I think that communism would be most likely an international thing. It'd be like the Star Trek universe. And it feels, especially at this point, it feels far too utopian to achieve. So while I think that the concept in and of itself is not one that I disagree with, and I don't think you would either, don't you?
I would.
You think it would be nicer?
I grew up in a communist country. I very strongly disagree with the concept of communism.
The USSR was, as you know as well, trying to implement communism. They never actually were able to successfully implement communism.
How do you mean?
Well, it wasn't a borderless, moneyless, classless society, right?
That was
it
never
would be
the
like,
goal of communism. It was never to be a borderless, moneyless.
That's what I was saying.
No, that is what communism is.
Well, that's not how the communists in Russia defined it.
Well,
there was a big debate within communism quite early on, which was about, are we pursuing a global state of communism?
Trotsky versus Stalin.
I'm
very familiar.
Right, but for our audience, this might be worth explaining.
Yeah.
Some of them they basically recognized the only way you might ever get to a communist society is if everyone in the world gets it. Otherwise, there will always be a capitalist system to which people would be keen to defect. Or, this is the Stalin option that they ended up going for, is you pursue communism within the realm of one country. And in order to do that, they took the wealth away from people who had it. They tried to distribute it to everybody else. They tried to create a state of equality, uplift the poor, as you were talking about. And actually, if you take those measures alone, they were very successful at it. Mm-hmm. The only problem is they ended up putting millions of people in camps in order to do that, creating a tyrannical regime with a secret police that murdered people. And that is the reason communism, in my opinion, doesn't work, is because in order to achieve that goal of equality, and basically you're making everybody equally poor as the end result, you actually have to use a lot of force, right? So that was communism, what we had in the USSR.
Well,
yeah, that's what I say too. At the end of the day, they were communists, even if they didn't achieve everything in the same way that the theory was presenting. But you could say the same about the Austrian painter and the fan club in Germany at that point. They also said a lot of stuff, and they didn't actually do everything. So does that mean that then Nazism doesn't exist, or it was never an actual National Socialist country? You can reuse the same thing. Sorry, let me see. Super chats. Thank you. Kvel. I hate when they try and use the SD as an example of socialist society. It's a post-resource scarcity society. They still had their own money and people still got rich by selling various art. True. Absolutely. Let me see. Off topic, but have you ever been to a Real Monte Underground Salt Cathedral? No, honestly. That sounds fun. Did you mean to write salt? I think I read everything else, yes. So let me double check how we're doing on Rumble and Twitch as well. Just in tuning in, wake up. Thank you. We've got a lot to watch. We've got a lot of stuff today. Thank you again for all the gifted memberships, by the way. I really appreciate that. Subscriptions, sorry. I have to keep it straight because there are memberships on YouTube, but subscription on Twitch and Rumble. Let's see. You're not a big into how the government works in Star Trek. I haven't watched Star Trek in a while. I used to like it a lot, though. Hassan is the guy that reads headlines and pretends to be an expert. And that's the problem, guys. When you pretend to be an expert and do the faking until you make it, which he did make it, but he did fake it. And now he's in front of someone who actually does know the history and the politics, specifically of his own country, to be honest. So that's where you can see. Yes, it's actually in Sicily. I have never watched it, Alamandorius. That's so interesting. I saw it. Sorry, I never saw it.
That the end goal was never successfully achieved in the USSR in terms of establishing what I'm talking about, though. And that's why I'm saying it's important to understand and recognize the failures of this implementation in the aftermath of a socialist revolution and choose not to repeat those mistakes.
So how would you do it differently?
Well, that's the reason why I pointed to China. China is run by the Communist Party of China. It bills itself as communist. China is not a communist country. Would you say China is a communist country?
It's a mixed country. It has some elements of communism, but it's also got a lot of capitalism going on.
Yeah,
right?
Not to mention it's authoritative. It's authoritative. So I wonder if he's an authoritarian and up to what scale. That's the other thing, because it's not like in China you can say what you want. Is that a good thing? Is that Star Trek enough for him? But then again, I don't know how this connects to the Islamic situation that we were discussing. That was a little strange, because I'm not sure how that connected to this. Which section are we in? Yeah, we're in this section here. Okay. There is something I wanted to see. I want to see the part about the assassination of Charlie Kirk. So far, they have freaking annihilated him. But let me see the assassination of Charlie Kirk. I'm really curious about this section. And then we move to the next topic. Let's go.
So one of the things that I found shocking with the assassination of Charlie Kirk is obviously the incident itself, but it's also the reaction and the rhetoric that went around it. The people on the left who were celebrating it, which to me is, and to most right-thinking people, is absolutely abhorrent.
And centrists. And in fact, there are some people on the left that found that abhorrent and became centrists. But yeah.
And also the reaction on the left, and there were some people, particularly large influencers, whose what they said was unforgivable.
Yeah.
Where did you stand on it, and what were your opinions on the whole incident?
I mean, I was shocked. It was horrifying, but mainly horrifying.
You weren't shocked. That was Kaya. You weren't shocked. That was Kaya.
Horrifying because, like, it's impossible for me not to have a personal stake in this, because I was about to debate Charlie in 2 weeks, like 2 weeks prior to his assassination, or 2 weeks after his assassination. We were supposed to be debating at Dartmouth College, and this was a person that I had basically developed a political career in competition with, if that makes sense. Like, I was on the left side, he was on the right side. We debated plenty of times. We debated at Politicon. We were very familiar with one another, and seeing that the number one fear that every person that does what I do become reality in real time was shocking. It was devastating.
Isn't it interesting that he makes it about himself, though? Like a psychological level, I mean. Isn't that interesting? Thank you, Ray. It's a strategy of his change topics when you know you can't win. That is very true. Alamandori, this guy was lying about China not being communist. Large businesses have to have a communist party office. Yeah, you're right. And they can seize control at any point. That's true. That is one of those communist elements. That's why I think Constantine said it's mixed, brother. It's mixed. And that's exactly the point. That's exactly the point. Yeah. As far as I know, there is no freedom of religion. Are Chinese starting to let Christianity in, or is it still banned? I actually haven't followed. You let me know.
As far as my opinions on it, I mean, I have I had the misfortune of seeing it in real time happen as I was like trying.
I had the misfortune of seeing it. Man, is it so difficult to not make it about yourself and just say it was atrocious, it was wrong, it should never have happened, and regardless of our disagreements, I feel for him and his family and children. Why is it so difficult? I'll tell you why. Because his audience wouldn't forgive him. That's what happens when you cultivate an extremist audience. Any streamer who cultivates a extremely toxic audience will risk self-devouring if they're not careful what they say. He's a class A narcissist. Of course, he made it about himself. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's easy in theory. When you're free, for a free mind, it's easy to say it was atrocious. It was an awful thing. I feel so bad, both for him having to die so young and for his family, his children. It's awful. We should never push for this kind of political violence. That's what a decent individual says, center, right, or left. He doesn't say it because do remember, he once read capitalist blood on the streets. So of course he's not going to say that. I'm an extremist of logical thought. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, he's trying to preserve his audience. This is what happens when you bend the knee to the mob. They control what you can and cannot say.
To figure out what had taken place. And we were one of the first media outlets that actually broke the story.
Me.
And my first thought was that this is going to lead to even more violence in the form of revenge, decentralized violence, and also that this is going to lead to state repression as well.
Okay, so what do you think what are your thoughts on Charlie Kirk getting assassinated? Trump is my thoughts. So the state is gonna repress. Well, repress what though? Because I mean, shouldn't you be happy if the government starts making sure that people don't do what you do, incitement to violence, and try to actually enforce the First Amendment for once when it comes to this? Maybe even social media platforms, maybe starting to do a little pressure on Twitch, letting you do whatever you want. You and Destiny got bootlegged, so I mean, whatever, but you know what I mean. Unbelievable. And also, what, revenge? Okay, well, did it happen? No. As far as I know, it didn't happen. I saw a lot of, again, when I say leftists, people tell me it's incorrect. Let's say left-wingers. Let's say progressives, whatever you want. I've seen a lot of people on the left, not everyone, but I've seen a lot of people on the left celebrating it. Just like the same thing they did when Trump got almost assassinated, and they said, next time, don't miss. So I've seen a lot of that. I've seen a lot of people pushing for more violence towards his children and wife. What I did not see is left-wing content creators and commentators getting shot. And Destiny did go live, meaning on campus. I didn't see him get shot. I don't want to see him get shot, by the way. I don't want to see Hassan Piker getting shot. I don't want any revenge coming from the right. But that's what he's afraid of, not the people who are actually saying, take out his bigoted children. He doesn't say anything about that, does he?
In an effort to stamp out any kind of political discontent or any kind of political dissent, which hasn't fully come to fruition yet, thankfully, but the administration certainly tried to use this as an opportunity to build new guidelines around surveillance and build new surveillance targets in general. The Trump administration has this, they released a memorandum, national security memorandum, that declared the intelligence communities to shift their priorities and attention of surveillance to Antifa, which they had previously declared a domestic terrorist organization, which is not a designation that exists in the United States of America because it is at direct odds with the First Amendment.
So let me get this straight. You are focusing on a technicality, which, fine, I mean, be that as it may, if he's correct, then great, that the nomenclature might be wrong. I'm happy to concede that point. If he does have a point, I'll have to double check. I don't believe anything he says. With that being said, Antifa did attempt at the life of, like, there was the guy that shot the Antifa, the van. He failed and I ended up killing some innocent immigrants, but he tried. So I think it's good that the government is having a look at what Antifa is doing. But to him, it's not good, even though Antifa, they prevented a bombing, guys. But for him, that's bad. That's, by the way, what he's criticizing now, the so-called police state, is exactly how China is. For some reasons, though, He loves it when it's there. He loves it. It's like fried rice and security cameras, ladies and gentlemen.
This is the reason why the KKK is not considered a domestic terror organization. This is the reason why the Proud Boys and Atomwaffen, which is like a neo-Nazi formation that tries to recruit from the military, none of these guys are none of these organizations, even if you would normally consider them domestic terror organizations, are actually considered that. So it was a severe violation of the First Amendment, and then the follow-up to the surveillance targets and the surveillance priorities made me even more fearful about where this administration was going, where they declared any sort of anti-Christian, anti-capitalist, anti-American sentiment to be an indication of someone being an extremist, violent terrorist potentially. But then
potentially, yes, absolutely. You shot Christian children, you absolute imbecile. You meaning the extremists, since I do consider him an extremist as well. I'd say, yeah, good, keep an eye on them. We're not saying what Pam Bondi said, completely out of her mind, if I'm going to have to now complain about a Republican. And she was like, oh, if you mock Charlie Kirk, we're going to come and arrest you. No, First Amendment. But anything that is violent or potentially, but if people start saying that they want the Christian bigoted children, it's better if they don't grow up into adults, yeah, we should keep an eye on them. Absolutely, we should keep an eye on them. 100%. Literally. Orange man bad, it cannot be your defense strategy against any argumentation. It's an excuse, it's a justification, exactly. Because he doesn't care about Christian children getting shot. That's the reality.
On top of that, there was even more vague things that they brought up. Like, I think it was like American, being critical of the American moral family unit or something like that. Basically, it was just what the Republicans consider what the entirety of the liberal and all the way to, extreme leftists or whatever think about the Republicans was now up for grabs in terms of priority targets for the surveillance apparatus.
For the surveillance apparatus, once again, copy-paste what he said, place it in China, he's going to love it. That's exactly, you think in China you can be, never mind the nuclear family, just go into Tiananmen, 在北京, in the city of Beijing, and say that you complain and disagree with Mao and their position and communism and the state. Good luck with that, apparatus. Rules for me, not for thee. It's like double standards. Let's see. Thank you, Kay. Hassan, you know why those other groups are not classified as domestic terror groups? They're not running around destroying state property or shooting people or destroying Teslas, for instance, burning down things. They freaking, during BLM riots, they burnt down how many cities? So, yeah. I mean, technically, terrorism is the usage of force by specific people that are called terrorists to cause fear into the population for political reasons. That's what terrorism is, by the way. This is I can prove it to you. That's the definition of terrorism. Literally, that's the definition of terrorism. So it can be, even the assassination of Charlie Kirk is an act of domestic terrorism. Let's see. There we go. Look. Terrorism definition. The unlawful use of violence and intimidation, especially against civilians, in the pursuit of political aims. That's what terrorism is. And then terrorism involves the use of threats of violence and to create fear, not just within the direct victims, but among a wide audience. That's exactly what it is. So, when he said, catch it, fascist, and then shot Charlie Kirk, and then all of the people on TikTok that were like, we're coming after you, we got Charlie in the neck, bigoted, be bigoted, that's what you get. That's exactly what it is. It's terrorism. It's exactly what it is. Terrorism. You can't twist and generate your own definitions to manipulate perception because we're going to catch you every single time.
And like I said, we don't know where this is going to go for the time being. It is directly at odds with the First Amendment, but there have been some instances where people have been indicted. Kat Abu Ghazaleh, like I said, who's running for office, is like one of the first high-profile politicians that have been targeted in this way. And I worry that once free speech goes away and once due process goes away in this country, we are full tilt fascist.
So, of course, it's complete nonsense, but I do agree that First Amendment and free speech are the most important thing. And so at least, even though we disagree on the actual fleshing out of what he's saying, First Amendment should never go. But the thing is that if we applied First Amendment and actually understood what protected speech is, a lot of the stuff he says. So the reality is that people like him understand First Amendment in a tribalistic way, and that's unconstitutional. First Amendment is not our speech is protected because we think that our politics are better, but then the split second someone uses a nasty word on the right wing, hate speech, and not just the right wing, the center as well. He's not against free speech. It depends on the topic. His positions shift depending on whether or not whatever point he's going to make is going to be advantageous to his overall goal within any given conversation. This is how he works. He shifts like this. His ideas shift. Like one day, now he said freedom of speech, very important. Then when he's having a conversation with someone who's maybe the idea of the concept, the non-existent, legally speaking concept of hate speech, if he's going to need it, then he's going to never go to hell with freedom, with free speech. We need to change the constitution. That's what's going to happen.
But I think that's a very valid point. My concern is as well, and it's the rhetoric that is getting ratcheted up on both sides, both on the right, but both on the left. So, for instance, I'll give you an example. In my own country, we have Zara Sultana, who's a very prominent left-wing politician. She said the words, we need to fight the fascists in Parliament. Like, okay. We need to fight them in the ballot box, and we need to fight them in the streets.
Mm-hmm. And of course he said love them, because he has a thing with the streets. Both him and Destiny, that's one thing. I know they hate each other, but that's one thing they have in common. The omniliberal and the champagne socialist here. They love the freaking streets when it comes to violence against those who disagree with them. So of course he's going to love her.
Now, the problem is, if you ask most people what fascism is, I don't think they would be able to give you a clear or coherent explanation or an analysis of the political ideology.
Well, let's be honest. By fascist, she means people like Reform who are not fascist. They are a centre-right party. They're not fascist.
So
I don't know if I would agree with that.
Right, but the point.
Well, hold on a second. You think the Reform Party is
I think
fascist?
Reform Party, as it stands currently, is a nascent fascist parliamentary group that hasn't.
But he just complained about the police state that thinks, oh, if you say something, we're going to consider you a terrorist, even though you're not yet there, simply on the basis of, well, this could be dangerous. And now he's doing the same thing in reverse. Anyways, you know what? I think I've listened enough to Hassan Piker. We're going to move to the next, but I'm going to say this was fascinating. I liked it. It's trigonometry. I'm going to subscribe to them. I'm going to give them a like, and I'm going to go check their content also, because they're pushing Brad, and I think Brad is great. So what did you guys think? What did you guys think of this interview? Did it change your mind? And do you now think, you know what? I think Mr. Piker, Shockman, actually does make a lot of sense when he speaks while wearing Dungeon of Democracy and a shock collar representation of what he did to Kaya. That's where we are, guys. You have brain damage now. Oh, goodness gracious. All right, let's jump right into the next one. Come on. Let's jump right into the next one, because this one took some time. 1 second. Let me close it. Let me review my list. Let me see. Yeah, so there is a content creator that I like very much. Since we watched someone we're not huge fans of, let's watch someone who's really nice. Now, she posted a video, but the video is 26 minutes long. I think what I'm going to do, as I often do when I make these videos, is this is going to act as a little bit of a demo, if you will. We'll watch a little bit of the video. We'll provide commentary, and then I will strongly suggest you to go check out the channel to continue watching and actually completing the video runtime. So who are we talking about? We're talking about a great content creator, and it's Sydney Watson. Sydney Watson, I've mentioned that a few times. We speak on X. Usually we strategize together when it comes to YouTube algorithm. And she's hilarious. She's really fun. And she made a video called "They Are Making Dating Impossible." Now, who's they, you ask? The reptilians? Maybe. Actually, I think if this was about the reptilians, we would be much better. But this is what we've got. If he didn't have double standards, he'll have none. I agree. You like her? She's great. She's great. She's fantastic. She's really good. Anyways, let's go. She makes great videos. There you go. Look at this. Look at this. Sydney, if you watch this, there you go. A little bit of extra self-esteem for you. Not that you need it. But chat likes you. Chat likes you. I've seen her a few times. Yeah, she's great. All right, let's go. Sydney, what have you got to show us? This, apparently, we're starting, ladies and gentlemen, we're starting with a septum nose ring. Septum ring. But maybe she's not what she... Let's not judge based on appearances, okay? So that's wrong. We don't do that. Let's see. I see some green, though. She might be a reptilian.
Your comments saying nose ring theory are literally doing the opposite of what you think they are.
Okay.
I want to look this way. I want you to be able to look at me and see that I am a safe space and that I don't tolerate bullshit. I want you to look at me and know Donald Trump, men, honestly.
Well, this is deeply unpleasant.
Well, we should have judged. We should have absolutely judged. But let me tell you guys, before we jump into this nose ring, well, nose ring in general, the septum ring, women watching this, if you are considering, septum ring is awful. It looks awful. It's horrible. It's horrific. It looks terrible. No one can pull it off. The side little nose ring, I know some girls that can pull that one off, but the septum ring, no one can pull it off. It's a terrible choice. Okay? Doesn't matter what your friend tells you. This is the truth. I'm just going to say it. Does it mean that I don't want them to have the freedom? No, please. Absolutely. Absolutely. But for anyone who's going to come back to me and be like, I did not appreciate that because I didn't ask your opinion. And who do you think you are to tell women what to do? Well, women tell me. When it comes to my choice of having extremely long hair that reaches my, well, to be fair, if I go, every time that I've gone to either a heavy metal, black metal, rock location, they freaking love this shit. They love it. Women are really into this. But in other scenarios, they come and telling me, but why do you have this long hair? Why the long hair? So women are judging a lot when it comes to that kind of stuff. Luckily, I married one who loves the long hair. So there is that. But anyways, if you see the center nose ring run, I agree.
Hi, my name is Sydney.
Hi.
Welcome back to hell.
Thank
And just a quick note before we do the video. On my tea website, Lions Tea Exchange, I am running a Black Friday / Cyber Monday sale of
go.
up to 50% off site-wide.
I'm getting
Yes, everything on sale, including my wooden gift boxes.
I'm doing it.
No code needed. The discounts are automatically applied at checkout. I will link everything in the description box.
You should do code Metatron.
Now, I have not dipped my little toesy woesies into the dating discussion for quite a while, namely because every time I do, it brings really strange people out of the woodwork. We respect and like both men and women on
Thank
this
you.
channel, friends.
You see, that's what I mean. Oh my gosh. So the lady we saw at the beginning, she's like spewing poison against men. Men are awful. But she's the tolerant one. Her, Sydney, she's like, we respect men and women here. We treat them equally. She's the toxic one. Oh my gosh.
We just don't particularly like buttholes and insane people, okay? This
Yeah.
is not a space to just aggressively hate on either sex for no reason. So
No.
mind your P's and Q's, or I'll find you and snap your little fingers.
Oh, she's
I
great.
wish that was more satisfying. That was not worth it. I love that we're starting this video with me threatening all of you like some sort of mafia boss. You know what? Rather than snap...
Mafia. You said the mafia, Johnny. I promised her your mother to protect you. E tu disse tu me, stesso onorato, ma tutta famiglia, da fino a parere siciliano. A little Sicilian, guys, I needed to. She said mafia.
Your fingers, perhaps I'll just send you all fish in the mail.
It's like when the mafia send each other fish through the post.
Anyway, one
Or white roses. I'm not going to comment further.
of my dear darling friends sent me this video to laugh at, but rather than finding it very funny, it just made me incredibly sad for everybody still in the dating world.
I'm sure you've probably seen that person that does like messages their Tinder matches first with like the most diabolical, just random shit. I do this too. It's one of my favorite hobbies. So every week I'm going to be making one of these episodes and showing you the things I've said to potential mates.
I won't lie, and maybe I'm alone in this, I think it's a little weird to go out of your way to traumatize men on the internet for views. The lads are simply trying to find someone to love as well. But more importantly, who is intentionally matching with this person on dating apps? Do you have some sort of humiliation fetish? What is going on here?
Here's one of my first ones from this week. You ever ate a hot dog backwards? I feel like this is a great way to open a conversation. Because, like, there's no wrong answer, you know? Now, this one, I think is fucking hilarious. Do you think bugs would choose to work a 9 to 5 if they had better health insurance? What? God knows I would. I'm not really sure what the theme is with the hot dogs today.
Do you think leftists tried not to be funny on purpose, or do you think it just happens that way? So because I hate myself, I went and looked up this girl's TikTok. She calls herself Bunny, with an I. All of this is checking out so far.
I wonder if the, what is it called? The person, the preferred pronoun is bunny self. Apparently that's an option.
Feels exclusively like this account was made for me to hate watch. Anyway, after scrolling her weird videos, I found that about a month after the clip I showed you, she was banned from Tinder. Yeah, maybe it was asking men weird questions about hot dogs. Just a thought. You see, I got perma-banned on the dating app Bumble for impersonating myself. You got banned because you drew anorexic caterpillars on your face. Anyway, apparently women like our friend Bunny here...
Man, she got banned for You know, I actually got that once. I don't even remember what platform it was. It wasn't a dating platform. I think it was italki. So I made an account. But this is many years ago. I made an account and I'm like, hey, hello, my name is whatever the heck. I have a YouTube channel, but if you want to speak languages, I'm more than happy to do that. And then someone started like going really hard. They're like, I'm going to report you. I'm going to report you. You're impersonating. I know him. He has a YouTube channel. It's not you. And I'm like, well, I know him. It's me. So like, yeah, I'm not impersonating anything. So he reported me and the platform blocked it. And they're like, you need to demonstrate it's you. And it's like, it's me. What do you want from me? It's me. So that happened to me. It's insane it happened to her. Also, Sydney Watson got banned, perma-banned on Patreon. So let's go and support her. She's lovely. She doesn't do anything to... Let's subscribe. Link in the description.
They are making dating a lot harder than it needs to be. And during my travels of the internet, I came to find out that this is apparently more of a feature of modern dating, not a bug. And because of women who look and act this way, it's given rise to the term septum ring theory, or nose ring theory. So because my birth year starts with a 1-9, I had absolutely no idea what this meant and had to look it up. And apparently it refers to women who have a septum piercing, or I guess nose piercings in general, being mentally unwell and psychotic.
Alright kids, I just woke up and I saw this comment and was like, what does this mean? So I did my little research on the internet, the TikTok search bar, and it turns out that I'm fucking crazy. I mean, he ain't wrong. I'm in therapy, I'm medicated, I'm bi, whatever.
At least they're admitting to it. I don't know what to do with this.
The MAGAs just started calling this like, oh, nose ring theory. Every woman with a nose ring is apparently crazy.
No, I think it's the septum ring, as I say. I think it should be the septum ring, guys. I think, let's not twist the theory because then we might get wrong results. It's the septum rings.
Essentially, what this so-called theory states is that women with septum rings make their trauma, their whole personality, they're unhinged, crazy, and basically it's just a way to discredit, denounce, and degrade women.
No, it's not a way to denounce and degrade women. I have nothing against women. With that being said, I do think that the septum theory is just telling you this one specifically is an insane progressive, like one of those crazy ones. And to be honest, I think it's real for the most part. But every rule has exceptions. But yeah.
Your comments saying nose ring theory are literally doing the opposite of what you think they are.
No, they're not.
I want to look this way. I want you to be able to look at me and see that I am a safe space and
Reptilian.
that I don't tolerate bullshit.
You see, this idea with safe space as well, a true safe space is like this channel. This channel is a true safe space. Because how many times have I said, as long as you're a decent person and you're not toxic, I don't care about your personal politics. You can be centrist, you can be right-wing, you can be left-wing. Or should I say fellow right-wing? You could be left-wing. You can be atheist. I'm a Christian. You could be whatever the heck. As long as you're not an awful person, I have no problems with you. I do, however, have problems with people that laugh at the death of Charlie Kirk. Right? And people like her. So this is a safe space. Yours, however, is not a safe space. Yours is a magnet for the insanity that is happening on certain spheres of the, shall we call it the radical left? I don't know what term I have to use because I'm not even talking about like you can be far left onto economic policy and still not be a radical, if you know what I mean. I'm just trying to be precise with, because apparently people complain about the terminology that I use. I think it's quite obvious the type of person I'm referring to when I say radical left, but whatever.
I want you to look at me and know.
Please.
Donald Trump.
It works.
Man.
It worked.
Honestly. What's going on in the world right now?
I watched like 20 of these videos of women with septum bars and nose piercings angrily disagreeing with these comments being left on their videos. But without fail, every single one of them was a leftist because stereotypes do actually exist for a reason. It actually annoys me a lot because when I was an emo teenager, everybody cool had a septum piercing and all of us wanted one because they were a real sign of being in the alt community. Like the actual alt community, not whatever it is today, whatever the kids are doing today. Now, the only people who look like this are people who have daddy issues so hard they think the government should parent them.
I think it's absolutely hilarious that Trumpers are just now realizing that people who have different views than them have nose rings. Like, yeah, bud.
Good to know.
I decided a long time ago I don't want to conform to your beauty standards.
You know, a lot of these people...
She's doing a great job at doing that. Very, very good, to be honest.
Are just extremely, extremely alarming human beings. Like the sort of people who you would reject and then they would go to extreme lengths to find you out in the real world and come to your house. And that's actually entirely possible because of how much of your private information is accessible on the internet through...
Wait, let me guess the sponsor. I always do this game. Guess the sponsor. So, what do you guys think? Is it a VPN or is it... I think it's the other one. Oh, gosh, what is it called? Goodness gracious, how did I forget? They sponsored me. It's the one that checks to see if people are using your information, isn't it? Damn it, what is it called? I don't think this is a VPN. Aura? No, I don't think it starts with a D. Dropping in your live stream tonight. Thank you, game. I appreciate that. We'll play a little bit later, by the way. I hate piercing and tattoos vehemently. Me too, although then again, I'll be honest with you, I'm a little sexist when it comes to tattoos because I don't like them on women, but if it's a guy sporting a dragon on his arm, it can be cool. I just don't like tattoos on women, I'm just going to say. But I don't like tattoos on me. I don't have tattoos and never will have tattoos ever. In general, I don't like tattoos, but I don't like them more on women. But I don't take away the freedom from those women, I'd like to underline. That's the difference. Tattoos on reptilians... Yeah, if you do a red tattoo, I think it works really well with the green skin. So that would be good. You think Raycon, VPN, Raid Shadow Legends? Oh, no, she never would she? Yeah, scars are better. Goodness gracious. Surfshark? I don't think it's Surfshark. Let's go.
Data brokers. So if you don't want to be stalked by one of these insane people, check out the sponsor of today's video, Incogni.
I meant Incogni. I know I said just shut up. I know I said it started with a D because I got confused with Displate, simply because I saw a YouTuber that pushed Displate. And by the way, Displate, could you please sponsor me as well? I think that stuff is great. But no, it was this. I knew it. It was the one that checks to see if your name has been, so they do it for you. I knew it. It was incognito.
Never question protecting yourself out in the real world with pew-pew sticks or pepper spray or...
Please say firearms. Well, boomstick. Boomstick is fine. Okay? Okay, let's just explain to our Australian friend who lives in America. Let's explain, before anyone says, why does she bother with American politics? She lives in America. Let's tell our friend that pew-pew is a no. Boomstick is fine. Firearms.
Your giant guns that you make in the gym.
Go.
Okay,
Go.
your giant guns. I mean yours, not
Yeah.
mine. So why wouldn't you protect yourself online as well? When identity theft is so prevalent and scammers are running wild.
Yeah.
Americans, unfortunately, know all about getting spam calls and texts. There are even those incredibly upsetting videos where scammers will go ahead and clone your voice and then call your loved ones. And this disgusting practice is happening because, unfortunately, your information is out there on the web, on data broker websites, ready to be purchased by whoever. I know. It's alarming. I care so much about everybody having privacy on the internet, which is why I work with Incogni, which is why they sponsor this video, and which is why I hope that you will go ahead and download them once I'm done talking. On my profile here, you can see Incogni has had over 1,000 entries about me removed from the internet. And it was straightforward to make this happen. I made an account, I gave Incogni the right to work for me, and they set about smacking down data brokers on my behalf. At first, it was really scary seeing how much of my information Incogni has taken offline, but I'm actually really grateful for it because all too often we hear these horror stories about criminals using data broker websites to steal their victims' information and then use their social security number, their addresses, their names.
She does such a better job than I do.
They've recently taken this all a step further with their custom removals, and this basically just lets you submit web pages that you find yourself for Incogni to battle on your behalf. It's important to know that there are a lot of companies that claim to do what Incogni does, but Incogni has actually been independently verified by Deloitte, meaning they're the real deal. So now is the time to take your data back with Incogni, especially if you're worried about data brokers like I am. So click the link in the description or go to incogni.com/Sydney.
Click the link.
And don't forget to use code Sydney to get 60% off Incogni's annual plans.
Man, she's such a, like, why do I suck at doing these kind of sponsorships every time? Like, I do it, and the sponsors do give me the green light, right? But this was great. She even did the shots when she was walking with the camera. I never do those. I should learn how to do it. I should learn how to do it. Let's continue. Let's go.
What's becoming increasingly clear, and is probably obvious to a bunch of you, is that there is a huge schism that has developed between men and women. And this same group of women who go out of their way to let you know that they hate men, that they don't need men, that men are terrible, horrible demon creatures, are simultaneously quite confused why they're having so much trouble finding a man to date. More specifically of the liberal variety.
This video is for my girlies who are in relationships with liberal men. More specifically, people that are just like super down with like human rights, women's rights, don't support genocide, aren't transphobic, aren't homophobic, aren't racist type shit, you know? I'm curious.
What about if the guy is anti-white though? Is that okay?
Curious where you found them, and if you think there's any left. Don't get me wrong, super happy that you like got your hands on one. It's kind of giving like ultra rare, like 24 karat gold Labubu type shit. Like, that's super awesome. Just curious if you think there's any left and where you would direct us single girls to find them.
Honey, they don't exist. They're too busy getting pegged. Jokes aside, there's actually this humorous trend on social media where these women once again are asking not only where the liberal men are, but where are the liberal men who behave like conservative men?
See, I'll tell you exactly, but yeah, that's a very good point. But I want to say the reason why you can't find the liberal men is because they have transitioned into women.
Do you want to know one of the saddest realizations I recently had? Was that as a liberal woman, it is really hard to find a man who is willing to play the more traditional masculine role in the relationship in today's day and age.
What? What? Oh my gosh. So you want a liberal man who is against the traditional values and gender roles, but he needs to follow the gender roles, pay your mortgage, provide for you, so you can stay home and be a trad wife? I'm confused. Oh, this is beautiful. Man, where does she find... Sydney, if you watch this, where do you find this? Where do you find this? Traditional values.
Who is not a conservative? A man who wants to pay on the first date, who wants to open your door, who has that want and desire to take care of you and to provide. Who is not a conservative?
They're wearing dresses.
Videos like this are so surreal to me, and it's very hard to put into words why, but I'm going to try. I don't think there's anything wrong or weird or strange or inherently leftist about wanting to be treated as an autonomous, independent person. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But I think it's quite strange to participate in the same...
But she doesn't want to be... Sorry, Sydney, I'm going to disagree with you. You're great still. But she doesn't want to be seen as an autonomous, independent person if she wants the guy to pay for her. I mean, what screams independence more than, don't worry, brother. Don't worry, Michael. I'll pay for it. F gender roles. I'm going to pay for everything. I'm going to pay for rent. You just be home in the kitchen. Make me a sandwich, Michael.
Ideology that has browbeaten men for decades, insisted that chivalry and sort of traditional values are a tool of the patriarchy, and then turn around when you're ready and say, no, I want it now.
Okay,
I personally don't think that treating women, particularly with respect and decency and kindness and blah, 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 should be a left-wing or right-wing thing, just like I don't think that treating men with decency and kindness and love should be a particularly left-wing or right-wing thing.
Yeah, in a good society. That's why I say I like hanging out with decent people. People that don't say, I hate all men, for instance. Just like we just noticed. People that don't say, I hate white people. People that don't say, I hate black people. I like to spend my time with people that are decent.
However, in the context of men acting this way, it's typically conservative traditional beliefs that underpin this behavior. I'm sorry it's this way. You've told all the liberal men that everything has to be 50-50 and that you want to be fully equal to him and he's going to act that out. He's going to expect you to behave in such a way that demonstrates that.
And that's a massive mistake, by the way, in general, because what are they looking for? Logics.
And fair enough. You've told him that's what you want. It's no wonder that fertility rates are falling. Everyone is insane. To be honest with you all as well, I think that the sort of social conditioning that I just described around male-female behavior is probably why a lot of men now actively do not want to approach women, and why women, the normal ones, are finding this very frustrating.
I better pay attention to me tonight. I'm so sick of this shit.
Oh my god.
Touch a boob, buy a drink. I mean, it's like very simple.
Tell me why every day I go out looking adorable, tits bouncing, skin glistening, and yet nobody ever hits on me or approaches me.
Maybe that's why, a little less aggressive. This is just my advice. Advice is the worst vice, guys, and I am doubling down on it since the Paleolithic. So it's not like there's anything you can do about it. Psychology, never mind. Therapy, never going to happen. So I'm just going to continue to give my unwanted and unsolicited advice. I built an entire career over it. So here's the thing. I'm going to just give you a little piece of advice. Be gentle. Be kind to the guy, right? Smile. Don't judge. He's going to be into you.
Ever. Oh my god, please.
Guys don't approach girls at the bars anymore.
I do.
I don't expect guys to come up to me, but I know the caliber of my friends, and I know what those...
Even the way she says no is like, yeah, smile based. No, exactly, yeah. It's really simple. Women are complicated, men are not. Women are complicated. It's like, no, but you have to say, you have to share your feelings, you have to cry, but if you cry, I don't like you anymore, I'm not into you, so you have to be an asshole, but don't be an asshole. And you have to say this, be a man, and don't be a man, but don't do patriarchy, but you have to provide for me, but don't pay for me while you pay for me. That's how women are. But men are like, smile, you cooked this for me, thank you so much. Oh, you got me Space Marines? Like my wife gets me Space Marines. And great, and then be hot. Full stop. That's what men want. It's very simple. And then we'll pay for it. We'll take you out. We'll provide. We'll do 3 jobs. We'll do everything. We'll protect you. We'll fight for you. That's all we do. But this problem is that these women, I'm like, no. They're like very aggressive. You could like never smile. Because, yeah. That's it. Anyways, sorry. I'm getting carried away, but I think it's because she did a really good job at like finding all of these TikToks.
Bitches look like, and they are some stunning. If guys aren't going up to them, guys aren't going up to fucking anyone. So I think if you're going up to girls at the bar in the first place, whether you say hi, whether you say, can I buy you a drink, whether you use Nick's line, which is a great line, by the way.
Thank you.
I think you have a million times better of a shot.
No. Now, she said the nonsense. I'm going to tell you what the reality is. What she said is, you would have the chance, whatever the heck, if you go up to the bar, use the lines and offer a drink if you are her type, which is virtually impossible to figure out when you don't know a woman at the bar. Which means 8 times out of 10... she's going to consider it a form of harassment because she's not into you. You're not her type. She doesn't like you. Maybe she's into men with long hair like me. So you go there with your military card. She's not into you. Sorry. Or maybe she's into men like you, and then someone like me goes to her and she's like, do you want to buy me a drink? Who do you think you are? Who do you think you're? Patriarchy. Nah, man, I like it. The rougher the better. Hey, if it works for you, man, I don't judge. I'm just saying what probably most men like is a smile. I'm just saying.
I think it's worth pointing out, because it often gets lost in this conversation, that a lot of the women who are now experiencing men withdrawing from them, young men withdrawing from them, actually had nothing to do with the messaging that caused that reaction in the first place.
Yeah.
They were little girls when all of this was being so heavily laid on everybody, and now unfortunately they're the ones who are getting kicked in the head by the messaging that generations beforehand had been, forcing onto men. I don't know if I articulated that well at all.
You did great. You did definitely better than me. I'm just screaming here. Let me see. So you were saying years of women calling men creeps and bemoaning men in general. They are upset that men have stopped playing their games. Yeah, exactly. That's precisely what her point she was articulating. South Exeter, thanks so much for the support. A college girl talking about dating like Michael Jordan, talking about winning a championship is exactly why young men don't approach. Yeah, I agree. And plus she sounds angry. Yeah. Men won't know what you're doing if you don't either. Sun Tzu. Yeah, exactly. That's funny. Let me see someone else. How's Rumble? Where did you learn to speak English? In the UK as a teenager. Which is why, even though you can tell I'm a native Italian and you can tell I'm not a native speaker, I have an accent. But sometimes I think there are some sentences or some isolated pronunciation without the intonation where you could kind of tell that I picked it up in England. But then you can also tell I'm not English. That's how I would self-assess linguistically anyways. These women love to play mind games, but men are like, just be straight up. Yeah, which never will happen. It probably hasn't happened since the Paleolithic. I'm just going to be straight with you. Mesolithic women complaining about men and not going at the cave reunion. And yeah, that's just how it is. How's Twitch? Let me see. Shooter is also fine if you are Warhammer 40k or Orc. Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Sorry for getting stuck in the adverts, mate. I apologize. But don't worry, you're not missing the good parts. You're probably missing the parts where I speak.
Well, hopefully I did. So I really feel for these young women because they had nothing to do with it, and I feel bad for the young men because they've been, once again, browbeaten from the time that they were little to sort of go against innate
toxic masculinity,
of, wanting to chase and
nonsense,
all these fun things. So it's, I don't know, I think everything's pretty screwed up. But this video is not about the women who are collateral damage in all of this. This is about the crazy, psychotic women who are canceling dates because a guy said that he's not interested in politics.
I was supposed to go on a date tonight, but I realized I hadn't asked him enough questions, so I called him before. I was like, you mind if we just do a quick little run-through questionnaire? And he's like, yeah. Doesn't care about politics. Doesn't care about politics.
No.
So
this guy will probably never realize, but he did in fact dodge a major crazy bullet.
Yeah, he dodged a freaking AR-47 right there. Thank you, Slots, for the $2 donation on Rumble. I appreciate that. By the way, that's one thing I appreciate about Rumble is that they basically, like, for every subscription, the creator gets, like, it costs $5. The creators take 4.75 and they keep like 15 cents. So, and even with super chat and stuff like that, they take very, very small amounts. Appreciate that. Thank you. Every criticism of theirs reduces down to calling you an anti-white stereotype Nazi if you disagree. Basically, anti-whiteism. Absolutely. You preach it, brother. Preach it, brother. Anyways, still massive thank you to YouTube. You guys have been very generous today with the super chats and the memberships. I got a lot of members, so I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Cook a man a decent steak dinner and he will expose his... Yeah, goodness gracious. Absolutely. Cool. Yeah, society when it's rude to stare to guys liking girls is the same as assault. Absolutely. Absolutely. Love the helmets on Twitch. Look at those helmets that I provide for people on Twitch. Come on.
I love that you guys don't even have to tell these women that you're right-wing anymore. You can just say, I don't care, and they'll dump you anyway.
Yep.
Once you actually meet men and spend time with them, you realize that they don't really care about too many things anyway.
Thank you.
This is not terribly surprising behavior.
True.
These women have actually pathologized having normal conversations in an effort to get to know somebody, to ask them questions, to see if you're compatible. Because these people do not live on planet Earth with the rest of us, rather than spending the time getting to know somebody as a human being like you normally would, they have instead decided that questions are only for finding out if someone is empathetic and progressive and whatever.
She is so right, man. She nails it. Thank you so much, Ray. We must return to tradition who wants to help me liberate a wife from here. Goodness gracious, I agree with returning to tradition. Hello, Raffaello. Do you ever play COD series, Call of Duty? What do you think about it? Congrats for being a dad. Thank you so much, my friend. Send regards from our reptilian friends. Peace. Hey, thank you. Appreciate. Yeah, see, reptilians are always nice. Greys, not a word. Not a word. After all I've done for them. Not even a word. Hey, congratulations. No, because they're racist. The Greys are racist, but the... reptilians, you see, at least they do the part. I appreciate that. Thank you. Call of Duty, yeah, I played a few. Mostly multiplayer, though, like local multiplayer. I'm talking split screen. I mostly played those, Call of Duty, and then I kind of got bored with the new ones. I think I'm more into indie horror games and real-time strategy these days, with a little bit of role-playing games here and there. But I'm mostly playing vintage computers. That's what I like. So, very cool.
God help you guys. Seriously. Imagine having to play progressive 20 questions before you can have the most disappointing sex of your life.
Progressive 20 question. I'm going to skip this one. So, guys, we watched 15 minutes out of 26. In fact, I watched more than I was planning on because this was really entertaining. But as I say, Sydney Watson, check her out. Link in description. Subscribe. Don't be a muppet. And that is the second thing. Let's move to the next. So next one, I'm actually gonna double check something right now with you because your boy Metatron has been particularly active on X in the last month, and in the last 2 days I've been going on and I've been like having some very strong clashes, if you will, when it comes to intellectual ideas and positions on politics. So how about we check these out? But there is one creator in particular that I want to talk about today, and I don't know if you've ever heard of him. In fact, let me pull this page. Let's have a look. Have you ever heard of Mr. Beat? Now, I want to give you a little bit of background story here. And then we'll watch this, which is going to be the focus of our discussion here. So, Mr. Beat has a YouTube channel, and I've watched some of his historical content, and I have to say that there were some videos that I was watching, and I'm like, man, this guy likes the history. Good, great. I love fellow history YouTubers. But then, I checked out his X page, where he's extremely political. Now, I'm also extremely political on X, so it's not like I'm using that one against him simply because we appear to be on completely different aisles of the political spectrum. Absolutely, by all means, speak your mind, brother. I don't have a problem with that. But here's the thing. I made a post not too long ago where I was talking about the fact, I was giving the news that, as you know, of course, I'm a legal immigrant to this country, but I was contacted by the government not so long ago, and they sent me a letter where they said, it was from like Homeland Security, I think, and the immigration processes, and they said, you are now able to begin your citizenship journey. And so I, of course, contacted my lawyer about it, and I am, in fact, starting my process to become an American citizen. And I wanted to post it on X, and I got a lot of people saying, welcome, brother, we're so happy, great to have you here. So it was really, really nice. But he noticed it, and he contacted me. Now, I'm not going to share the personal messages, because I never do that. You know, I think it's wrong without consent and without specific permission to share someone's private messages. Not that there is anything weird, but I'm going to paraphrase it, and I'm just going to say, he asked me if I wanted to be interviewed on his channel to talk about my experience with citizenship in this country. To that I replied, thank you very much for the offer, but I don't really know what I would say since I've only barely started the process. And the reality is that the only thing I would say is, yeah, we got the paper and I gave it to my immigration lawyer specialist. So there isn't much I can say. I could talk about my experience as an immigrant in the country. I don't have a problem with that. And then, like, the situation stopped. And I think why the reason why the situation stopped is because he noticed my politics. And guys, you know, I'm very... Let's put it this way. I don't really I just say what I think. So the reality is this, Mr. Beat, sorry, not Beast. Could you imagine if it was Mr. Beast? Here's the thing, Mr. Beat, I'm just going to say it. If you want to do, I'm going to say publicly here, because sometimes when I respond, every time so far that I've responded to one of his comments, because he leaves plenty of, not plenty, but he leaves comments under my posts when he disagrees, but when I respond back, he never comes back, even if I tag him. So since we don't seem to be able to have a conversation like that, and you do say the things you say publicly, I'm going to say this publicly to you. If you still want to have the interview, even though we clearly now have very different politics, since I lean right and you are very left-wing, I'm more than happy to talk about my experience when it comes to immigration in this country. The only thing is, though, that I will also, in said interview, tell you what I think about illegal immigration in this country. Do you still want to have the interview? If so, I'm more than happy. Say the word. Anyways, let's talk about this post now. Let's talk about this post. This one here. So he made a post, November 29th, and he says, don't make evil people martyrs. Now, in this political climate, particularly coming from the left, if I read something like this, maybe it's just me, tell me if I'm the only one, but I do think, is he trying to say that is he talking about Charlie Kirk indirectly? Because if he is, I have a problem with it. Not a problem with his freedom to do it, but I really have a problem with it if that's the case. Now, you might think that's all in your head. Is it? Because if we open the comments, we're going to watch it and you'll tell me if you think I'm overreacting. But a lot of people are talking about Charlie Kirk, Charlie Kirk, Charlie Kirk. Look, they're putting images of Charlie Kirk burning in hell. So, I think, let's not play stupid. Okay, let's not play stupid. Charlie Kirk is horrible. All these audiences saying how much Charlie Kirk deserves it. Deserved it. Okay. Burning in hell. Okay. So it's not just me, is it? Seems like that's also what his audience thought. So I asked him, before we watch it, and then we'll watch it, but I asked him, guys, because I'm very direct, and the reason why I asked him is because he came under my session, and we'll check that one out. But when I made a post, and it was a post where I was critical of the violent radical left, not the entirety of the left wing, specifically the violent, he had a problem with it. So I have a problem with your post, right? It's fair game, am I right? If you have a problem with my posts, I have a problem with your posts. So I made this, and I said, I agree with Mr. Beatpoint in general, so don't make evil people martyrs, but the fact he made it now, in this specific political climate, I'm gonna have to ask. You didn't make this as a way to indirectly talk about Charlie Kirk, right? Because, I mean, if that's what you're doing, then be a man and say what you want to say. If I'm reading too much into it, then it will be very easy for you, Mr. Beat, to prove me wrong. Just publicly state you do not include Charlie Kirk in this. Looking forward to your response here in the comments. Do you think it's fair for me to ask this question? And you'll see, we'll watch the video, you'll see why I think that's exactly what he's doing, but maybe I'm wrong. See, here's the problem though. Let's see if he responded, because he hasn't so far. I'm going to check it with you right now. I don't know. Maybe he did. Let's see. That's me again, tagging him. You see, I tag him again. Maybe he didn't see it. Mr. Beats is not the left wing. Okay, there are my comments, and some of his people came to attack me and call me a racist, far right grifter, and making sure. Well, you see, because that's what he achieved, whether he meant it or not, and I think he did. But whether he meant, even if he comes to me and says he didn't mean it, that's exactly how his audience took it. See? But I don't see him. I don't see him. He's not here. He's not addressing it. Okay, so here now he says, this video was not about Charlie Kirk. Good. This video was not good. You see, I appreciate that. I'm so glad I'm wrong, if I am wrong. But let's watch it, so let's see if you see why I thought that. Let me see if he responded to me. Did he respond to me? So someone else did it for me. Good. He doesn't owe your response, man. No one is... Oh, this is... Okay. This guy... I'm just going to say, this guy was crying like a little baby when I disagreed with some of my, let's see, the most extreme right-wing people in my community. And he was crying like a baby saying, shame on you. See the people you have attracted. This guy's a clown. So I don't care. He doesn't owe me a response. Of course he doesn't owe me a response. But he comes to my posts to talk about it and complain about my stuff so I can ask for a response. Of course he doesn't own it. Obviously he doesn't. It's absolutely fine if he doesn't respond to me. But as you can see, it would have been good if he responded to me because a lot of people, including his audience, thought exactly that's what he was doing. So let's have a look. Let's watch it. Let's go.
A martyr is a person who suffers a lot or dies for their beliefs. A martyr's death often validates their beliefs and unifies supporters of their beliefs. But evil people can become martyrs too. Horst Wessel was a thug of the Nazi Party in 1920s Germany. In addition to being obviously anti-Semitic and racist, he was a terrorist who advocated for and led violence against his political enemies, including members of the Communist Party. After Wessel attacked and injured Communist Party members at a pub in Berlin, he became a target himself. On January 14th, 1930, a German Communist Party member named Albrecht Hohler shot Wessel in the head, killing him immediately. Joseph Goebbels, the Nazi propaganda chief, immediately recognized Wessel's death as propaganda gold. He portrayed him as an innocent young man who was murdered for his beliefs, man. He said Wessel's murder was proof that all communists were violent. The Nazi Party staged a huge funeral procession in Wessel's honor, and a poem he wrote became a Nazi anthem. The Nazis wanted to portray themselves as victims of communist violence to justify retaliation and militarization, and Wessel became the perfect figure to rally around. Wessel became a martyr not for what he believed, but for how Nazis could use his death. What's the lesson here? Don't make evil people martyrs.
I mean, I don't know about you, man, but you, Mr. Beat, I'm going to talk to you like a man, okay? I'm going to talk to you like a man. It doesn't matter that we disagree politically, it's fine. I'm going to talk to you like a man, with respect, okay? What my haters never do to me. You make this video right now. What do you think people are going to think? Literally anyone. In fact, his audience, they're all talking about Charlie Kirk. And he didn't say anything to them. Apparently, finally, there is this video was not about Charlie Kirk. Which really does sound like it is, man. I don't know what to tell you, but hey. What are our choices now? What are our choices now? Either we think he is... either he is lying... because he's a coward, and secretly, that's exactly what he's doing. That's one option. Or, he actually didn't mean it, as Charlie Kirk, and so, he was genuinely making a video about the Nazi regime, although then again, half of those people that you mentioned that you don't want, that's the thing that I don't understand. I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt, because people never do to me. Okay? People never give me the benefit of the doubt. I say 1, they understand 10 to me. I say Cleopatra wasn't black, they tell me he's racist, he doesn't want black people on screen. That's what they do. So I'm not going to do it to him. I'm going to be like, okay, since he did that, and he said, I would appreciate if you told me as well, but you don't have to, as that clown in my comments said, even did I have to, who am I? I'm just a guy, right? I'm just a guy who watches his content just like all of his other viewers. I don't want preferential treatment of any kind. If he does, I would appreciate. But if he doesn't, whatever. Here's the thing though. Why would you choose to make a video like this? Who is it that is taking someone who died in the someone from the 1940s or the 1930s? I mean, half of the people you mentioned, those who are not into history, are not even going to know who they are. So what is the message of this? Don't make historical people, like, who are you? Where is the tether to the modern period? That's the part of misunderstanding. And that's why not only us, me, but your audience, everyone is thinking you're talking about Charlie Kirk. So it's not, if it was just me, then you could absolutely tell me, no, it's just you, man. His entire community saying, yeah, F the Nazis. No, your community is saying Charlie Kirk is in hell. So it's a misfire, is what I say, unless that's exactly the point you were making. Because, yeah, I do believe Charlie Kirk was a martyr. I absolutely believe he checks every definition of a martyr. So, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt for this one. Because he did respond, not to me, but it's fine. He responded with this. He responded with this. This video is not about Charlie Kirk. What did this audience say? Oh, look, I'm curious. Good. Appreciate that, by the way. Appreciate that. I can't stand his politics, but I appreciate this. Sure things, buddy. What about you decide to make this video? What made you decide to make this video? That's a very good question, right? People don't believe it. Says, don't make evil people martyr. Then says, yeah. But Charlie Kirk is about the video. Perfect example. Sure. Real cute. Stop the crap. Sure, I bet. Yeah. Was it Nicholas II? Pure Metatron. They tagged me. Thank you. Thank you for tagging me. I'll tell him that. Thank you for tagging me. So let me tell you the other thing that we discussed, if I can find it. Anyways, I'll have to see if I can find it because I would have to scroll back a lot considering the fact. But anyway, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he didn't mean it. At this point, I would say maybe make it a little clearer that you don't mean it. But fine. It's your content. You decide. I mean, I'm sure there are plenty of things that I don't make clear enough. So, fine. Okay, I'll believe you for now. But there is a post. I'm going to see if I can find it. If I can't find it because I post like a maniac, I'm talking like 14 times a day. That's how much I post. So if I can't find it, I'll have to tell you. But at that point, I mean, I hope you believe my words. But if I find it, I'll find it. So after Charlie Kirk died, I made a post when I told, multiple posts, of course. But there is a post that I made when I talked about the fact that the shooter, right, was clearly a radical leftist. Or a radical left-winger, if you don't want to use... If you only use the word leftist to mean socialist, Marxist, and communist, then no, I guess he's more like a progressive or a liberal, whatever the heck. I mean left-winger, okay? Let's use it that way so we're clear. That's what I said, and it's the truth, it's a fact. But because there are plenty of people in the left, that the reason why I said that is because there are plenty of people on the left that tell you, well, his parents were conservative, so he was a MAGA. He was MAGA. Or they tell you, oh no, he was a Mormon. He was brought up Mormon, so clearly he was right-wing. And it's nonsense because it's not true. I mean, Destiny's family are MAGA. It doesn't seem like it worked, did it? It doesn't make anything Destiny says to be now immediately connected to what the right wing says. Likewise, not to mention, I mean, the Bullets, they called him a fascist. He had a furry transgender boyfriend. He was not that this connects it to the transgender. It's not like I'm not saying that, but I'm saying it's obvious. He was a radical leftist. He hated Charlie Kirk, and he shot him because he thought he was a fascist. And he thought he was a Nazi. That's how it is. It's the truth. Well, Mr. Beat had a problem with that. Which is why, as you can see, you can tell from this that I'm not particularly friendly towards him, am I? I'm still not ready to go to war like I went to war with Destiny, I went to war with all the others. Absolutely, I am ready to go to war with every single one. I don't even care. I don't even care if there are like 50 creators and they have 50 times my subscribe count. I'll go to war against every single one of them. I don't care. However, I'm not sure about Mr. Beat. I don't know, because sometimes he seems like he knows his history, but then he does stuff like this, and I'm like, is he talking about Charlie Kirk? Is he trying to do that? like everyone is thinking. Now he said, no, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt just because people don't do it to me. But then again, as I say, when I made that post, I can't find it, guys. It's too far down. So you'll have to believe me for now. I'll see if I can find it later. But anyways, I made that post. I said he was a radical leftist. It's obvious. Stop saying he was a conservative. That's all I said. And he came into the comments telling me, why did you have to specify he was a radical leftist? Why did you have to specify that? And I'm like, well, half of your posts are against right-wingers and conservatives and Trump. So you can specify right-wing as much as you want, Mr. Beat, but you have a problem with me when I specified it because, I'm going to say your side, because some people on the left are pushing this idea that he was MAGA when he wasn't. That's why it's a response, right? And regardless, if it's a factual statement, why wouldn't I say it? It would be like me complaining about there was that bombing in 1995 that it was like 2 actual white supremacists. Was it the Oklahoma bombing? Where they actually drove a car inside a building, exploded it, and offed 167 people. So do you think I'm going to have a problem if, for whatever reason, Mr. Beat decides to talk about that, if he says that's a case of extreme alt-right or extreme right-wing violence? I'm not going to go to him and say, why did you specify it was right-wingers? If it was, it was. Likewise, in this case, it was a radical leftist, just like the guys that tried to shoot at ICE, just like the Antifa guys that tried to bomb. It's just the truth. It's a factual statement. So that kind of gave me a little bit of an iffy feeling when it comes to Mr. Beat. As I say, I still don't know. Maybe he's okay. Maybe we'll have that interview with me. Man, can you imagine? Would you guys want to see that interview? Let me move chat on the screen. So do you guys, considering that me and Mr. Beat are on very different political aisles, do you think we should have an interview about immigration in this country? What do you guys think? If you tell a lie enough and often enough, it becomes a truth. Yeah, I agree. You say yes. If he does it, sure. It's a conversation, right? Yeah, exactly. I just don't know. Because some people, again, I don't know about him, but some people have this idea of, oh, don't platform certain ideas because they're dangerous. Is he one of these? Or is he okay with me sharing my thoughts freely, even if it could... I mean, at the end of the day, wouldn't it be? Maybe he can change my mind. That's one thing that my haters just don't want to give me for whatever reason. But I'm always ready to change my mind, by the way. If you present me data and you present me facts, I'm not saying I'm going to turn left because it's never going to happen in my life. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm always going to be mildly and moderately right-wing. But if I think something, and maybe I learned something because of echo chamber exposure on my own side, and then someone left-wing comes to me and says, no, man, these are the facts. Or maybe it's not with data. If it's with data, I mean, the data is data. I recognize data. But if it's not the data, maybe even your logics. If your logics are good, you can absolutely. And then on that point, I'll be like, you know what? I agree with you on this thing. I guess I'm left-wing. When it comes to this specific item I don't have a problem with that. That's why a lot of people always thought that I was centrist, because I've always had this idea of, if you can convince me with reason and logic, not with shaming and name-calling, which is what usually the left does to me, but with reason and logics, with facts, data, more than happy to listen to your angle, but you got to listen to mine first. And when it comes to immigration, I have a lot to say. So are you ready for that, Mr. Beat? Well, we'll see. Seems like my audience will love to see it. I'm reading some absolutely here. Not a debate. I'm not a debater. A conversation. Can we have a conversation about immigration? We'll see. So that was one of the items of discussion that I wanted to share with you today, but we're not done. The next person that I want to speak about, but in this case, is not a situation where I prepared something like in other scenarios like this, and then I tell you what I think. No, this is a situation where, guys, you really need to help me out, because I don't think I understand the situation properly, and I need your help. We're going to talk about, you ready for the revelation? We're going to talk about Candace Owens, because I am very confused. I am extremely confused. Oops, I opened YouTube by mistake. I'm extremely confused, guys. You got to help me out here. Help a brother out. Help a brother out. Muted twin. I don't know what that means. So, guys, let me see what the chat says about her. Dialectic doesn't have to be debate. Yeah, I agree with that. Absolutely. Right. So this is Candace Owens, and we're gonna look for some videos and some clips. And I am so confused because every time I watch something from her, if it's stuff that is like older, sometimes I've heard her say stuff, and I'm like, yeah, sure, I can agree with that. But the recent stuff, I'm really confused. We have the entire situation when it comes to Charlie Kirk. She said it was a friend. Then she said that Israel offed him. Then she said that it wasn't Israel. It was what? What was the latest one she said? Who is it that actually offed Charlie Kirk? Was it Russia? Was it an inside job? That's why I need your help. I need to figure it out. So like she's been changing her position on who. France? Was it France that offed Charlie Kirk? Like I'm a little confused here. So there's that. The other thing that confuses me when it comes to her, and I don't know if she was trolling. That's what I need. Is it true that she doesn't believe that dinosaurs are a thing? Like Jews make dinosaurs? Oh, Nux has coverage on her. We are watching Nux tonight. Absolutely. She's saying France did it. Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, at this point, she looks like a conspiracy theorist to me. But I don't know enough, and I don't want to, misjudge. It's just that I'm going to look for it now. I'm going to need to find a video about the dinosaurs. And then the other one I want to see. Oh, also, she's been saying that they are trying to assassinate her. Is that right? So anyways, I'm gonna look for the dinosaur video, and then she's an ambulance chaser. We'll see. So let me see. Candace Owens, dinosaurs. And then I watched a clip where she said politicians are reptilians. I need to see if that was a joke. I assumed it was a joke, but Candace Owens, reptilians. Let me see. Yeah, I found it. All right, guys, let's go. Let's see what we can learn. Let's start. Do we start with a dinosaur that are fake and gay, apparently, or do we start with reptilians? Candace Owen says Elon Musk must. Let me see this one. Wait.
I'm telling you, I don't even think these people are human. Like I look at Elon Musk and Sam Altman and Peter Thiel, and I'm pretty sure they're hybrid. You know what I mean?
No.
Like they just look like an Apple software that I should be able to download at night. You know?
I don't know.
Is it a joke?
Ilana, AI, and we just don't know. Now, this is how she gonna test. This is where we say she's lost her mind.
Let's go.
She's about to tell you how she would love to test to see if they are AI or some hybrid. Please remember, that's what she's gonna do to test.
Okay.
Listen? Okay, cool. We all ears. All right, cool.
You know, like my phone's getting an update or something. It's something in the eyes. Like, I don't know. I'm like, I know I'm human, but I don't know if I stabbed you if you bleed, I'm not going to stab them.
Now you're going to say,
well, I don't know if she actually means to stab, but okay, reptilian then. Let's see the dinosaur one. Let's go.
You don't believe dinosaurs are real.
So this is a funny one. So this is one of the ones where I'm like, gut, I'm not kidding. And it was so funny. I just looked up to her and I was like, dinosaurs? That seems pretty fake and gay.
You don't believe dinosaurs are real.
So dinosaurs are fake and gay. Can we figure out why? I mean, I don't want to watch a 10 minutes video about dinosaurs being fake and gay, but I do want to see a little more. Let's see.
Looked up to her and I was like, dinosaurs? That seems pretty fake and gay.
Right.
What's going on, everybody? My name.
Yeah. Oh no, not one of those with Overwatch while you talk. No, I can't do that. I'm sorry. I'm not that generation. I'm not. You know what I mean? When it's like Call of Duty, Overwatch, or Fortnite while you're talking, I know it works on people who are like 15. It just doesn't work with me. No disrespect, man. No disrespect, but I need dinosaurs. Let's go. Kind of someone says dinosaurs are gay. I mean, that could explain why they couldn't reproduce, though. So if the meteor theory is wrong, that would be a good hypothesis as an alternative hypothesis to say, see, dinosaurs they were all gay, something happened, and they couldn't reproduce, and so they all died out. That could be it. Hypnotic is here, is putting a LOL. No, I know, we're just trying to theorize here. We're trying to theorize, because that could explain, if there were, in the absence of a comet, that would explain how the entire species, multiple species in fact, if they were all gay, how could they...
You don't believe dinosaurs are real.
There is a Christ conspiracy that's happening right now, which is the intentional removal of Christ because they want people not to believe in God, but instead to believe in humans. That is what evolutionary theory was about. I was just walking. I was like, dinosaurs, that seems pretty fake and gay. There was no concept of a dinosaur until 1850. That's very recent.
Okay, wait a second. While I do understand that there is a rise in secularism, although then again, in fact, in the last few years, a lot of people are converting to Christianity. I'm not going to address the statements that she said when it comes to because it would be a very interesting topic to do, the possible conflict and between science and faith, and how instead I think the two things can absolutely work in conjunction. But I don't want to make this into that video. But if you're interested, I will. Just let me know. I'm not sure, though, I understand the part about dinosaur, because, I mean, we have medieval representations of dragons that kind of look like dinosaurs. And also, it's not like, I mean, archaeology is a relatively recent field, so... Yeah. Anyways, let's see. Her face is all we need to know. Do you think she lost it? She might have lost it. What if she's the reptilian?
In that same decade, they were like, dinosaur bones. And they started finding them everywhere. I'm like, okay, so nobody found this. And then like suddenly there's entire museums.
Dinosaurs are gay? What does that even mean? Why did you say that? The asteroid must have been homophobic. Transosaurus rex. It's a bird that identifies as a lizard. Now we know why they're called triceratops. Stegosaurus, huh?
Oh man,
I could go all day. It wasn't 1850. The first fossil find is credited to Robert Plot in the 1600s. Nobody talked about dinosaurs before. Yeah, nobody talked about them because they weren't discovered.
Well, yeah. Oh, and again, I do have that theory when it comes to the possibility. Because if you look at a dragon, there is this meme, actually. I am saying it a little tongue-in-cheek, but I always keep a little bit of an open mind. Because, guys, I got to show you this. There is a meme about this. I don't know if you've ever seen it. I hope I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. I gotta use Google, though. Let me see if I can find it, because I swear it's really funny. Oh, please find... Oh, yeah, I found it. I found it. Okay, ready? You ready, guys? This is it. And it's really funny. So, Middle Ages bullshit for the dragon, right? And that they draw in the iconography. Then 1850, they think it looks like this because of the bones. 1920, they examine. No, it actually looked like this. 1970s, they change it. No, it looked like this. Now, it's like the medieval stuff. And I mean, if you think about it, they did say, when it comes to modern understanding of how dinosaurs were, which of course science changes constantly, which is why the way some people are so dogmatic about science, this is the science, and if you disagree, well, that's dogmatic. That's how faith works. I say as a man of faith, God never changes. But when it comes to science, you shouldn't be like you're not allowed to criticize it. That's exactly how science works, because it changes constantly depending on the available data. Regardless, what's funny is that if you look at the current paleontologists and the way they represent the Tyrannosaurus rex, they think that there is a subgroup of them that say that it's possible we got it wrong, and the reality is that they had feathers, and that they wouldn't do this already. Everyone agrees that they wouldn't roar. You know, when you have like it's awesome, by the way, but it's not real. Like the T-Rex roaring like a lion is not a thing. And in fact, they say that probably they would have made a hissing sound, or maybe a sound closer to, I don't remember now because I watched it a while ago, but it is true that now they're reconsidering the possibility that maybe so it would be so funny if we like make fun of medieval people because like, oh, medieval, you're bullshit. And then we go through all of the scientific curve of understanding, and then at the end, medieval people were right. I love it. I freaking love it. Again, I say it a little tongue-in-cheek, but I do keep in mind the possibility that who knows? Who knows? I mean, when it comes to, for example, the flood, I do think that because it's mentioned in so many different cultures and it's mentioned in so many different books and religions, I do not think it's something they just came up with. I think it's very likely that it was connected to some kind of cataclysmic catastrophe. Imagine like melting of some of the ice core in that increase the levels of overall, it could very well be a thing that is connected to reality. And so this could be a situation like that as well. But anyways, let's go back to why she tells us that it's all nonsense. And this guy's fun. Good Luck Gino is his name. Let's go.
That's what the fucking word discovered means.
Yeah.
Candace Owens is a pseudo-intellectual.
You don't believe dinosaurs are real.
There is a Christ conspiracy that's happening right now, which is the intentional removal of Christ because they want people not to believe in God, but instead to believe in humans. That is what evolutionary theory was about. I was just walking. I was like, dinosaurs, that seems pretty fake and gay. There was no concept of a dinosaur until 1850. That's very recent. Within that same decade.
He kind of it restarted. I thought it was continuing. Okay, so that's the dinosaur thing. It seems like she actually believes it. I think that, she wasn't joking. Was she joking about Elon Musk being a reptilian? Also, shout out to my man. Shout out to Elon Musk, guys. You're like, what are you on about, Metatron? I'll tell you what I'm on about. I will tell you right now what I'm on about. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Elon Musk commented under one of my posts. Here he is. He said 100%, ladies and gentlemen. What was my post? My post was, white should always be uppercase when describing the ethnicity. White, not white. I'm gonna die on this hill. Black people, white people, brown people, all caps. Not black people, white people, lowercase, brown people. Academia is evil for pushing racism, and if you agree with them, you are either a coward or a racist. And I doubled down, and Elon, ladies and gentlemen, the man himself, 229.2 million followers, agrees. So I told him, thank you very much, thank you for your support. Now, some of the people said, well, actually, I don't care about uppercase or lowercase as long as there is consistency, and that, I'm fine with that. I mean, personally, I like the fact, I don't know what it is, I like uppercase, but capitalization. But if you want, no, I think they should all be lowercase, because it's an adjective, fine. Descriptive adjective, fine. Not a problem. What I have a problem with is this, which is exactly what the entirety of academia is pushing. There's no denial of this. Zero denial of this. It is happening. So now you can't use the, it's not happening, gaslighting techniques, because it's everywhere. And I myself have made several videos to expose all of these academics. Not only the academies, but the academics that are going around with it. They're okay with it because they're cowards or they're racist. It's one of the two. They don't want to lose their job. So, okay, I guess I'll do lowercase white. No, it's wrong. It's racist. It's incoherent. And it's also ugly to look at. So, I said that. Elon Musk agreed. Appreciate that. Thank you, Elon, very much. And that's that. Elon is a pretty cool African American, you say? Yeah, sure. Absolutely. I mean, he was born in South Africa, was he? In Africa in general, yeah, I know that. Very cool. Okay, anyways, let's go back to Candace, because I need to understand this Elon Musk situation. So, which is the part where she actually says that they are not human? I am not watching Secular Talk react to it. Not a chance. In heaven nor hell. Hybrids. Yeah, let's see. What is this? Breaking Point. What's Breaking Point? Breaking Point. Alien hybrids. Yeah, everyone is reacting to it. So I wonder if she's trolling for clicks. What do you guys think? She's trolling for clicks? EU Secular Talk? Absolutely. Base brother. Thank you for that. Is she trolling for clicks, or does she actually mean it? She had an insane meltdown. I'm going to watch this. 34 minutes. Come on, man. Got to keep it. And probably watch this video be 34 minutes once I cut it. I'm not watching Philip DeFranco because he's a little weasel. I'm not watching him. She finally, biography details Elon Musk. And I'm going to have to, I was hoping to find something short, but well, why am I getting up? Excuse me. Reptilian humanoid. Oh yeah, because I said reptilian. So Wikipedia is still after me. Every time I talk about it, Wikipedia slams the freaking, YouTube slams the freaking Wikipedia note. It's insane, man. They love this one, don't they? They love, watch Ruslan. Yeah, where is he? Does he talk about it? Yeah, Ruslan is based. I like him. Does he talk about it? Did I misspell it? Oh, there he is. Candace Owens' new conspiracies are made. You won't believe who Candace Owens is coming at next. Man, he has a few. The Candace Owens situation just took a dark turn. Candace Owens releases more receipts. Candace Owens responds to Christian creators. Holy moly. I can't find the one about let me check this one very quickly. Let's check this one very quickly. Thank you, Jefferson. I appreciate the support. What I hate most about what people like Owen say is that they make Christianity look like a religion of anti-scientific, hateful hacks. Absolutely. I'm 100% pro-science and religious. And then, I mean, at least do your research if you want to go at it. If there are some elements of the scientific understanding that you disagree with, it's totally fine. But you have to do it on the basis of data. You have to research it, because otherwise you sound ignorant.
All right, moving along.
Speaking of Ben Shapiro, let's move on to Candace.
Ben Shapiro.
There we go. Candace has some very interesting thoughts about some of the tech oligarchs who are completely taking all of our fates into their hands with no input from us whatsoever. So glad to see that she's focusing her mental energy on them. Her take is very interesting, though. Let's take a listen.
Let's go.
I don't even think these people are human. Like, I look at Elon Musk and Sam Altman and Peter Thiel, and I'm pretty sure they're hybrid. You know what I mean? Like, they just look like an Apple software that I should be able to download at night, you know? Like, when my phone's getting an update or something. It's something in the eyes. Like, I don't know. I'm like, I know I'm human, but I don't know if I stabbed you if you bleed, you know? I'm not going to stab them. But I don't know if they bleed all the way. I think a battery would fall out. You know what I mean? And I just get that sense. I've always known it was demonic. And people just...
Okay, there are 3 statements here. I'm going to analyze this, guys. I'm going to analyze this to the full. So, 3 statements have been made. Allegations have been made here by Candace Owens, if she means it and she's not trolling. But to be honest, she sounds like she means it. So either they are hybrid with aliens, meaning reptilians. I mean, that's what we've got there. We've got a picture of reptilians anyway. So they're either hybrids with reptilians, or they are cybernetics, so they are synthetics. But this is a different thing already, because reptilians is, I mean, you need to get into, reptilians are not metal, okay? Reptilians are whatever. And demonic. So maybe they're demons, she's saying. That's three different allegations here. Literally. Which one is it?
Get on board, because, as we talked about in this book, they are using science and this idea of technology and this idea of transforming society for the better to indoctrinate us into accepting this.
Okay, so the fact that people use technology to indoctrinate us is one of my strongest lines of attack. With that being said, I mean, technology is necessary. That's what you're using, Candace, in order to present your counter message, whatever the heck this is. I'm a little confused, though.
And it's wrong and it's backwards. And the main component of all of this is psychology, right? They're able to do it because of psychology, making you think that society has gotten better. Our kids have objectively gotten dumber. We've become fatter. We've become less healthy. We've become less emotionally sound. And yet they are convincing us that this is like humanity's great leap forward. We put a man on the moon, and he just like called them up and was like, "Hey, press, what's up? I'm up here." Yeah.
Does she not believe in? Is she also a the moon landing never happened conspiracy thing? I'm not pointing the finger, by the way. I'm just trying to understand. It's another one that I'm confused about.
So cool. It's really great. It's nice. Starry night up here. Cabinet tech.
Exactly. Tech is just a tool. You're absolutely right. Tech is used all the time by our own preachers, by the way. Tech is great. The way you use it, it's like tech is similar to a knife. You can use it to prepare dinner for your children, or you can use it to slice up the postman. So personally, I don't think tech is a problem.
Actually, I go by in 69 and they get these people, they tell you like he's a genius. They're all writing like he's a genius. So we should just accept that Elon Musk is a genius, because like all the writers who are obviously indoctrinated into the occult are telling us that this is the next person that we should worship. The establishment of Hollywood, it was all occults. They were all Aleister Crowley proteges who were just raping kids and summoning demons, and demons are real. So at the same time that they're summoning demons, they are making us all believe that faith is not real. And
you know, what I find problematic with this is that I understand how this is going to connect to some people. personally, you say she's right about that there are people trying to summon demons. Right, but are they trying to summon demons? That's my question. Because she's saying it as a statement of fact, but how does she know that? I personally can't imagine Elon Musk in his whatever the heck mansion or house. I know he has some smaller houses as well. I personally imagine him looking at tech. That guy's tech obsessed, obviously. I imagine him watching movies about colonizing Mars rather than having some dead chicken and painting a pentagram on the floor while reciting in Latin. I mean, if you do need Latin pronunciation lessons, maybe that's why your summoning is not working, Elon. So if you need lessons, I don't imagine him doing that personally. So it's weird for me to make an accusation like that when you don't have proof that. And I'm not even saying proof, like I know some of you, I could see it. Some of you are saying demons are real and some of you are saying demons don't exist. That's beyond the point. You can try to summon demons whether demons exist or not, right? It doesn't matter if you're a man of faith or if you're a man of science and secularism at this point. You can still have someone who does everything. Like they get whatever the heck, they get a goat and they cut the goats. Like this happened, right? In the Bronze Age, we have examples of things like this happening, and we know that. So the accusation of they're trying to summon demon is an accusation connected to the physical world. And that's the part that I'm having a little bit of an issue here with the tech oligarchs, if you want to call them like that. It's like, why are you connecting to something? I think she's doing it on purpose because some people, particularly people of faith like me, it's not working on me, but I'm saying it might work on some people that are like, oh yeah, no, yeah, of course, demons are awful, and oh, that's what they're doing. And I'm like, well, not that I know of. Let me see. What's up, Metatron? Maybe you've answered this already. Someone called Not an Expert did a 2-hour deep dive on you. Will you react to it? Who is not? Oh, Not an Expert is it the guy who said that he's like a former fan of mine, and then he said he made a title saying like Metatron worries me or something about my current sort of more transparent positions on political matters? I think that's the guy you're talking about. Is he? Because if it is, I started watching the video. Casually offers to give Elon Musk Latin lessons. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he can afford me. I can tell you that much. You have to admit, though, the tech oligarchs all look similarly weird. Okay, Dill. The only one I'm ready to accept that it might be a synthetic is the Facebook guy. There's the Facebook guy. I'm terrible with names. Zuckerberg. If there is one that I'm willing to consider the possibility that there is a battery in there, it's going to be him. Not the others. Mortagon says, I don't believe in demons except for in the metaphorical sense. And that's totally fine. I mean, of course, I don't have a problem with that. I understand that, absolutely. I do believe in demons in the religious sense, but I don't believe at anything, everything, every time someone screams, oh, demon, demon. No, I don't believe that. So I still have a healthy amount of skepticism. Just because someone says it doesn't mean it's a real supernatural thing. They're rare, personally. And I know the people that are atheists don't believe in that. Yeah, fine. That's fine. We're not even discussing that. Zuck is an alien robot. Yeah, I agree. Zuckerberg, yeah. Sorry, I'll check your super chat immediately. Yeah, don't worry about it. I'll check it out. Former fan and then being concerned means I am lying entirely because I always hated this person. I don't know, though, because if it's the guy that I think... Yeah, worried attacking my side. Probably. I don't know. I still haven't watched the whole video, but I want to tell you one thing about that guy very quickly before we continue. Not an expert, right? Let me see if it's the guy that I'm thinking it is. Give me 1 second. Because if it is, there is one thing I want to say about it. Not an expert. And then I'll write Metatron. If it's a small channel, might not. Oh, yeah, that's the guy. Okay, so yes. So, yeah, it seems like this guy made a video about me, and it's a very long one, 1 hour and 48 minutes. But I watched the beginning. I know it doesn't show, but I did. I watched the beginning. Maybe I was logged in with my other channel. I think I watched the first 5 minutes or 6 minutes, so I still haven't gone into the actual depth of his problems that he has with me. But I'll tell you this, I will watch it. And the reason, and I don't always watch people making videos when I think that they are trying to misrepresent and whatnot. Sometimes I do, but I only do when I'm getting ready to go to prepare an online war. Otherwise, if it's just people and whatever. But I watched the beginning, and I'm going to give him this. He sounded authentic. So he didn't sound like a hater. He sounded like an actual real, as he writes here, Metatron has always been a creator I respected deeply. But then he has a problem, I guess. I still have to watch his lines of argumentations. But I liked that at least at the beginning, he didn't sound like an hater, which is a massive change of pace for me. So I don't know if during his video he completely misrepresents my points and he's one of those who says that I'm a racist and whatnot. I don't know that. Or a grifter and whatnot. But the beginning at least gave me a feel that maybe this guy is honest. And if the guy is honest and is presenting criticism that is not based on strawman, I have zero problems with him. Sorry, I got a little bit of water in. So I would have zero problems with it at that point. So I'm willing to watch the video. Will I make a video response? I can't decide it now, because here is one thing you don't know. When I decide whether or not I'm going to make a full-on response video when a creator either attacks my arguments or attacks me ad personam, ad hominem, I have to calculate a few things. One thing, for instance, is when it's a very small channel, then I also have to take into consideration the fact that they might be flooded with my own subscribers, and that. So before I do that, I actually ask them. If they're big, if they have an audience of their own and they're already engaged in the culture war, then I don't ask anything. You attacked me, I'll attack back in kind. But when it's a very small creator, usually, so I watch the video. If I think that the video is decent, or even if I think the video is not, I will ask them, you sure you want me to react? Because it might, cause, and I understand that can be stressful. I'm constantly flooded with hatred, and it can mess with your mind. Now, over the years, I've learned to live with it. And so now what I do, I usually laugh, most cases. I just laugh it off, and it works. But it took me some time. And when I first started this YouTube thing and people were misrepresenting me and calling me names, I think I still was in that initial naivete whereby I just wanted everyone to like me, which I soon realized it was impossible. And so the reality is, though, that it did have a toll on me at first. There were situations when I was like, I'm not what they're depicting me to be. And that didn't sit right with me. Now I've learned over the years to develop a thick skin, particularly during my clashes with the Afrocentric community or my clashes with the radical leftists. And so when that happened, now I'm like, I don't care. I just laugh. I don't care. I monetize it, make money, great, bye. So that's how it is. But with a smaller channel, he has 79 subscribers. I'll watch the video. If he completely misrepresents me and calls me things, then I'll just ignore, bye. I'll stop watching. I don't care. But if the video at least has some decency, I'll consider it. Either I'll make a response, or more likely, I'll ask him, do you want to talk directly? I could go on his show, for instance. We could have a discussion, but only if he's being decent. But the beginning did look decent, okay? So I'm just going to say it. That's my take on it. That's how it works. Yeah, exactly. I don't harbor hate, just laugh it off. Laughing is the best way to do it. Sometimes I act it out, like I put ha 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 ha, ha you're a clown. I do that sometimes on Twitter, but I do it because they're blue ticks, unless like I didn't see it, because that's how you monetize, right? On X. So I'll do it on purpose. Like someone comes to me and tells me you're an awful racist. Oh, some people attack me because I'm Sicilian, whatever reason. Then I'll like they tell me you're a grifter, and I'm like, oh yes, I'm a grifter, grifting for the far right. Let's go. So I do it on purpose. Because I know it spawns like 17 subreddits dedicated to me. I don't particularly care about that. But it also creates engagement under the post with the blue ticks, which generates money. So why wouldn't I do it? So there is that. I mean, on X alone, I'm just going to say it, guys. On X alone, I make about $1,000 a month with the tweets. So yeah, when people come and call me a grifter and I respond back and they insult me, you're a failure, they're literally making me money. I'll take it. I'll troll them. I'll take them. It's so funny. I've seen people making videos, small channels, that's why you don't know. But I've seen people making videos. Metatron had a complete meltdown. He crashed out in the comments. No, I'm making money off of you guys. That's what I'm doing. For what? For a grift? No, for this. You are literally buying me Warhammer 40k. Wouldn't you do it? So there is that. Anyways, I'm aware of the creator. I'll check him out. And God bless America. God bless America, friends. So anyways, we're still figuring out Candace Owens. Let me see on X. I'm going to move to X now. Let me see what we can find about Candace Owens on X, because I need to figure this one out. If this is a mental clinic case or not, I kind of want to know. Candace Owens. Let's see what we get. Let's go. Let's do it. All right. So Candace, news, rest. Yeah, right. So let me see. What is this one? Ooh, she was 22 seconds. I can stomach that. Super chats. Yeah. Let's check the super chats and then we stomach a little more. All right, let me have a look. Thank you so much again for the support. I really appreciate your generosity. So Ray says demons do exist. We call them. Oh my gosh, come on, not everyone, but yeah, the ones you mean. I know exactly the one that were laughing at Charlie Kirk. You're absolutely right. Macari, what's up, Metatron? Maybe you've answered this already. Someone called. Yeah, I just responded to that. Advice for getting over the love of your life. Oh, getting over. Did they break up with you? If I'm not misunderstanding this, then my advice is keep yourself busy, do things you love, and time will heal the wound. That's the advice. But you got to keep yourself busy because otherwise time moves too slowly. Play your games, do your things you love, and find new hobbies. Hang out with friends, watch movies, watch my videos. You know what I mean? Yeah. If that's what that meant. Jeffersonian, what I hate. Yeah, I read that one. I met a fellow long-haired man here. I used to just have a mohawk. Wow. Mohawk. I don't know how to pronounce it. But you inspired me to grow out my sides because you made it look great. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, brother. How long is your hair now? Hello, Raffaello. Do you ever play? I read that one. I think I read all the super chats, I believe. Let me just do a very quick. I read that one. Yeah, and these were when we were, it's actually in Sicily. Yeah, exactly. So no, I think I read all the super chats. Let me double check Twitch and we're going to play some games, hopefully. We'll see. I think I want to play some games tonight, but we'll have to see because I also need to watch. There is a thing that I wanted to do as well. We'll have to see. So Twitch is fine. Everything is good. Very good. Wait, you get paid for people insulting your suite? Absolutely, my friend. Totally. Yeah, I should check Nux. We're going to see. Well, let's watch a little bit of the Blue Jew. Blue Jew's great, by the way. We're going to watch him. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do a little bit. We're going to watch this, and then we're going to jump onto Nux and see how that goes. How's Rambo? People, don't feed the troll. Metatron, please feed the troll. Absolutely. Feed each and every single one of them. Monetize the troll. Let's go. All right. What has she got? Hit me.
Is a faith. Israel is a state.
Excuse me.
Judaism is a faith.
Right.
Israel is a state, and it is not above critique. And that what Bibi Netanyahu has done to the Palestinians since October 7th is a Holocaust. It is a Holocaust that is being committed on Palestinian children and women. And I'm not going to quiet my perspective on that, to kowtow to whatever the prevailing narrative is at the New York Post. Judaism is a faith.
But it's not about, I agree, by the way, with the idea of every state you can be, what's the word? I don't know why I'm missing words tonight. When you say you disagree, whatever. You can say you disagree, there's a word. You can say you disagree with the actions of every state. There is not a single, particularly if it's a foreign state, even more so. But in general, I think that's absolutely fair. And people that call you anti-Semitic because you disagree with choices of deployment of a government is nonsense. The only anti-Semitism is the one that focuses on the race. If you disagree with the actions of a government, it is not anti-Semitic by definition. So there is that. Anything else? If not, we're gonna jump into the based Jew. What about this situation that she thinks that they want to assassinate her? What about that one? Oh, she said faith, not face. Yeah, I thought she said face too. I was a little it was a little strange. Let's see. Yeah, the Nigerian Christians being, that's terrible. I know. I've spoken about it. Anyways, I'm not here for the beef. Let's see what let me see what kind of video we're talking about. So YouTube. And let's see let's go to Nux. I imagine Naxanor is second. And then we do Candace Owens. Oh yeah. Oh wow. All right, we're gonna watch a little bit of this. It's an hour long. I'll put links in the description once I cut it out, but I need to watch this.
Hebrews and Shebrews, I am currently traveling, and I am on somewhat of a vacation, visiting family. But you know, I gotta keep the homies fed, gotta keep the people not hungry. Today we are making more drama with more people. Hell yeah, let's go. Lock in, boys and girls. It's a crazy rabbit hole we're going down today. We are going down the Candace Owens thinks the Jews are controlling everything rabbit hole, and it's gonna be incredibly fun.
I think it's him, by the way. He controls the White House. It's him. And he, by the way, you think, I'm going to tell you something about Nux now that I know, and you don't, because I speak with the guy. We speak. This is not an avatar. Let that sink in. That's what he looks like on camera. Not an avatar.
So, this here is Candace Owens. She is one of the biggest political commentators in the world right now. She is on the right. I would call her woke right, personally. You know, woke right is when you blame everything in history on the Jews. Now, I do think there are some things that you can absolutely blame on the Jews. I know, this is a hot take. In fact, I even think you can be critical of Israel and not being an anti-Semite. I know this is a hot take these days, but welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Insane Drama, because woke right, that is when you blame everything on the Jews, all right? I previously did a content nuke on Candace Owens, going into details if you want more info. In that video, I showed clips where she blamed the Jews for inventing dinosaurs, putting them in the ground to trick Christians into thinking that the earth wasn't created by God, okay? She blamed dinosaurs on the Jews. When I saw that clip, I was like...
Why would that, I mean, couldn't have been God who created the dinosaur? I don't understand the connection there.
All right, bro. All right, bro. I think she's missing something.
Were you saying we're really listening to VTubers now? Oh, come on, man. You don't know who Nux is? Nux is based. No, I mean, there are a couple of VTubers that I enjoy when they play games, but usually I'm not into the VTuber space. But Nux is the exception, man. Nux is the exception. Nux is great. And Hypnotic is another one that is really good. But Nux is really funny.
Here. So when I saw that, I started going a little deeper, and then of course she blames the Jews on everything else in history. Also, she blames communism on the Jews. She blames the Holocaust on the Jews somehow. She's pretty cool like that. Anyway, definitely lock in, because she now blames the Jews for running the White House, and also says that RFK Jr., you know, the Make America Healthy Again guy, for being blackmailed by the Jews as well. Now, there's no evidence to any of this, which makes it even funnier. Oh, and she also says that the Jews killed JFK. So since the Kennedy assassination files came out, I feel like we should definitely look into that rabbit hole as well.
You know, when it comes to JF Kennedy, it's literally people blame everything. I've seen so many different conspiracy theories that it's funny, because I'm not against the possibility that out of all the like 957 different conspiracy theories when it comes to how Kennedy's assassination actually happened, maybe one is right. Problem is figuring out which one it is, because they blame. One thing about Kennedy, though, I had a conversation the other day on X with, not really a conversation, it was more of a clash. And we were talking about political violence, whether there is more political violence on the left or whether there is more political violence on the right. And I'm doing research on that because I'm considering putting up a video about it with actual data. And it's kind of funny, because one of the things we were saying, because this person was advocating 100% that the right wing is more violent, while I was saying, well, why don't we look at the actual data and see what's going on? And then he also said, let's look at the data. And we were talking about, for instance, assassinations at presidents. And the reality is, however you want to look at it, they tried to assassinate Trump. No one tried to assassinate Biden nor Harris. And that is something that needs to be put into the discussion of not just numbers, but also, which side tried to assassinate the sitting president? Because Biden never was assassinated, or they didn't try to. I know they speak, and usually when I say that, they either talk about Nancy Pelosi's husband, which it's like, okay, but one, he didn't die. Two, is not the sitting president, so we can talk about it. But also, I think it wasn't politically motivated anyways. It's not like the guy went there with a hammer because of his politics, the way I understand it. So it shouldn't even be part of the discussion. But then what they say, oh, well, what about Kennedy? Kennedy? You're really going to go that far? If you have to go that far back, that's not really a point in your favor, is it? So there is that. Let's see. That's insane. Let's watch a little more. I like listening to him.
I can't believe the Jews would put tariffs on Israel. I can't believe the Jews got Trump to put tariffs on Israel. That was such a crazy twist.
Oh, that's funny.
Anyway, lock in, everyone. We're going on a big rabbit hole today, and I'm going to love it very much. Candace Owens is, I would go as far as to say, 100% right now. So this is going to be very cathartic, very fun. If you hate me just because I'm going against someone you like, that's valid. We are an equal opportunist detection system over here. If there are retards to detect, we will find them and we will make fun of them. That's what we do. Now, there are a lot more retards on the left these days, but that doesn't mean there are a couple of right-wing retards out there too. So this
Hey, Nux, you wouldn't have to censor that if you came over to Rumble.
was a bit of a viral clip from one of her recent videos. Now you see why I record while I'm on vacation. It's way too fun. I visit family, I'm like, hold up, detected, and there we go. So anyway, lock in, boys and girls.
Yeah, let's do it.
This is a tape that went viral.
Like, it's because this is not helpful to Jews in America. It's for Israel. Like, it feels like Netanyahu is running the White House and Trump's just signing and doing whatever they say.
Sorry to interrupt. Wife is calling, making sure she's okay. Sorry, wife being pregnant, I always tell her, like, call me anytime, don't worry about it, anything. No, she was fine, she was just asking. I did skip dinner, so I'm going to have to go eat in a little bit. Let me see what you guys are saying before we continue. And let's have a look. What are you guys saying? Oh, you're talking about JFK, are you? Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe one of you is right. And I wouldn't know how to know it. That's the thing. Is that what it is really? Who's Deb? Blue Voldemort. Yeah, there are pictures of Oswald holding a communist book and a rifle. It was not right-wing at all. Who was Oswald again? Oh, yeah, the guy. Yeah, exactly. No, yeah, the guy attacked. Yeah, I know. The Nancy Pelosi incident. Absolutely. That's one thing, by the way, when we talk, and I'll make a dedicated video, as I say, but when we talk about who's more violent, we have to define political violence, because even if someone was voting for a specific party and then they cause violence, but if the motives are not connected to politics, for instance, personal reasons, crime of passion, robbery gone wrong, then it doesn't matter who they voted for. It's not a crime of political violence. So it's not an easy one to make, but I'm going to make that video. I'm going to make it as real as possible. You know me. You know me. Metatron fooled us that wife is calling, but those were lizard overlords giving instructions. You're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. And you know what? You know what? When you're right, my friends. So I'm just going to say it.
Glory to our reptilian overlords.
How about that one? And you think it's a filter. That's the funny part. That's the funny part. Anyways. So, tattoos are fine. You're talking about tattoos. Tim Pool. I don't really watch Tim Pools. Is he someone I should start watching? I never watched him. I know who he is. It's the guy with the beanie. But I never watched him. Trump after JFK. I'm surprised they didn't work a time machine. Maybe you're right. Maybe it was Trump. Trump's fault, at least. At least Trump's fault. We can say that. The normal voice is the filter. You're absolutely right. You like Tim Pool? Good. Okay, I'll check him out. Metatron, what do you think of the Y-Files? As a show, very entertaining. Very entertaining. It's really fun. I remember I made a response video many years ago, and I disagreed with his takes. But in general, I think he's a very fun content creator, and I enjoy his show. Disagreement or not. Bishop, thank you for the support. Metatron, can you make a video of the traumatic effects of colonization, chattel slavery, and black Americans and the aftermath effect on our culture? From a historical standpoint, I have nothing against revisiting the historical things, but I don't know if I am the person to do this. I would have to do it in collaboration with someone. One, because I'm not a psychologist, so I haven't got a clue when it comes to classifying the effects on the culture. But also when it comes to colonization, we'll have to be careful because, you know, the whole decolonizing the curriculum, I'm more interested in attacking that right now than talking about the actual harms that have happened during colonization, because unfortunately people in academia have made it difficult to talk about this without premises, because immediately they will blame it and make it racial and white people bad. So I could do it, but I would have to put a few disclaimers there to make sure that they know I'm not one of them. But yeah, no, sure, absolutely must have been traumatic. 100%. But as I say, it's a little bit outside the area of history that I usually cover. One thing I could do instead to make it more tethered to my content is compare chattel slavery in America with ancient slavery and look at the points that are similar, because we use the same word, but they're effectively quite different. That could be a video that I could make that I think could be more within the realm of expertise that I usually cover. Everything is traumatic. Right, but being a slave, I'm sure, was particularly traumatic. More traumatic than me watching Candace Owens, probably, even though up to a certain extent, I was a little traumatized today. Yeah. That would be cool. Yeah, I think that would be a very good way to tackle the discussion, because there's so much virtual signaling when it comes to chattel slavery. Obviously a bad thing, but the virtual signaling puts me off. But when we look at it in a comparative analysis, I think that could be very interesting to do. Thank you for the congratulations, Dad. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you. So anyways, one thing I wanted to say is, how long have I been streaming? 3 hours and 40 minutes. Yeah, my idea was to stream for about 3 hours today. So I think I'm going to call it a night, guys. Let me check stats very quickly before you guys start logging off. So we did hit 44 viewers on Twitch. I'm actually impressed. I'm really impressed. Thank you so much for so many people. Let me see stats. How many people? Can you guys see it? How many people on Rumble? I don't even know where to look. Still figuring it out. Yeah. But yeah, no, I think I'm going to go to sleep, my dear friends. Thank you so much for all the support, all the memberships and the super chats, and in general for hanging out with me. I really appreciate that. And I'll be live again, though, because tomorrow is the new month. So I'm not going to be live tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to take it off. But in the following days, I'm going to do some live stream gaming on both Rumble, Twitch, YouTube, and we're going to have a good time. But I think for tonight, I'm going to go to sleep, guys. Maybe not to sleep immediately. I play a little Final Fantasy Tactics with my wife. She enjoys watching me play. And then I'll have dinner. Nice panino with salame. Fantastic. Panini is plural, by the way. Panino is singular. And, I do have to say thank you for the super chat. I don't want to be disrespectful. Shalom from Israel, Sir Raffaello. I follow you for years, and I'm so glad on how much you defend the truth so consistently. Thank you so much, Kara. I appreciate your support. Thank you very much. Final Fantasy Tactics, by the way, is a phenomenal game. But I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. All right, guys. So thank you again for being here. whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever religion you are, whatever political position you have, whatever the heck. As I say, decent people are always welcome here. Thank you for sharing your time with me, and I will see you tomorrow with the next upload. Have a good one. Ciao, ciao. Ciao, ciao, ciao. Ciao, ciao. Ciao, ciao, ciao.